Hello and welcome to the Initiative Order. And welcome, more importantly, to Chalice, Twilight Roads. Before we jump into the player and character intros, I just want to give a very quick shout out to our wonderful sponsors today and let you know what they've set up for you. So today we have Session Zero Clothing. It's a really fantastic set of D&D inspired streetwear that have set us up with a wonderful 15% off discount for you. All you need to do is at checkout, pump in the word order and you'll be set there. Norse Foundry are also lending us a hand, making some brilliant artisan dice. Same thing, 15% off. All you need to do is TIO 15 at the checkout for, well, the initiative order, and that'll set you. Roaming Player Gear are also stepping in for some wonderful tabletop game supplies. Carnaby 20 for 20% off the Dice Tower Dice Tray combo set is what you're going to get over there. And of course, Mithril Armory, makers of the fantastic Tin 20s and Sketch Dice, for there, just using the word initiative for 10% in their web store. And of course, last but by no means least, we have the Umbral Oculus dice, handmade custom dice made by our very own Terran. Use the code initiative for 10% off of a full dice set in her store. Right, now we've got that out of the way, let's jump ahead to our players. So please lead the way, Jago.
Hello, I'm Jago. Let's have some fun, I guess. I don't know.
Holly?
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm excited to do this. Let's have fun, guys.
Lynn?
Hiya, I'm Lynn. I play Cecily in this, and I am fairly new on my TTRPG journey, but I am looking to have fun with this campaign.
And Max?
Hi, I'm Max. Hopefully it'll go well, and I won't fuck it up.
We live in hope. And finally, last and certainly not least, James.
Hi, I'm James. I do TTRPG stuff with several other people. I work for Modifius half the time and Black Cats Gaming the rest of the time. And I definitely 100% will fuck this up, so nobody else needs to worry about it. It's absolutely fine.
And of course, I'm Ben. I also work for Modifius the entirety of the time because no one else wants me. And I'll be running the game into whatever hopeless situation we find ourselves in, subjecting these wonderful people to, well, that's why we're all here to see. So now we've got that out of the way, let's settle on in. Please roll the intro. Hello and welcome back. Well, if everyone's ready, let's begin. The year is 301, after the founding. As a storm rages across the nation of Chalice, the seat of the Cilician Empire. Arcs of violent lightning crisscross the moonlit sky as rain beats against the mountains that surround this great nation from every angle. Below, the 7 provinces lie, bathed in flashes of light and the shadows of storm clouds. Card, Ignis, Dowry, Stigheim, Valeto, Yun, and Alfred. Baronies divided in rulership but bound in patriotic brotherhood to ensure the future of Chalice and its peoples. In Valeto, the moonlight reflects with pale magnificence from the shining peak, home of the Church of the Severed Light and the Martyr's Voice, the chief religion of Chalice and the figurehead of the men and women of this nation. From here was Chalice birthed some 300 years ago, unifying the once divided people of the provinces together to follow the actions of the martyr, the woman who freed all mankind from the tyranny of the giants in millennia past. Only with their help were the provinces joined, the 9 seats established, the positions of power that lead the country to this day. Now, preaching unity and tradition, the Church helped guide the hearts of the Cilicians across all of the Empire, its priests tending to the needs of the unfortunate, and the Inquisition stood firmly with the Wardens of Chalice as their vigilant defenders. From the Spartan confines of the First Keep, nestled at the entrance to the waterborne city of Faith, and head of the 9 seats, Maximilian Wolf, High Warden of and Protector of the Cilician Empire, sits within a decades-old leather chair. Reports from wardens across the nation occupying his fort as the rain trickles across the glass of his window. Word of rogue channelers, people born with the innate ability to alter reality on a whim, plaguing his mind. The names of the dead etched into his lectures. Across the city, beneath the shadow of the grand spire, apprenticed alchemists toil in the great college of Lakeview, embroiled in the endless task of alchemical iteration. For the past 100 years or so, the minds of the college have worked to bring industry and science to the people of Chalice. Mechanization, medicine, transformative elixirs that drive the human form to new, wondrous and terrifying heights, all brought forth by the alchemists of Lakeview, honoring their pledge to the people to educate and elevate, regardless of the warnings of the Church. Away from this, however, deep within the normally quiet agricultural plains of Dowry, wardens, inquisitors, and provincial guard are engaged in a restless hunt across the expanses of green fields, narrow country lanes, and old townships of the provinces. For the last few months, a group of channelers, pyromaniacs, and murderers have cut a swath through the area, leaving nothing but ashes and terror in their wake. Those leading the hunt, Inquisitors Juliana and Traeger Krautz, have done their utmost to ensure the public know the faces of these menaces, these itinerant destroyers, warning men and women to observe and report, to not approach and avoid contact, to preserve their lives over everything else. After all, these are dangerous people. Between the cities of Barrick and Dis, capitals of Dowry and Ignis respectively, just off of the main road and partially sheltered from the storm by centuries-old trees, lies a small rest stop. A sign, buffeted by the wind, reads, "The Strangest of Places." And it's here, within these walls, that a man works away, quietly nailing a wanted poster to a board. Curious travelers, salesmen, mercenaries, and more, watching with muted interest. A nearby young barmaid leans across the counter, fingers playing across a pen as she scribbles away on a piece of paper, whiling away the evening. And it's with her we begin, with young Jules Hope, traveller of Chalice, lurking within the bar, having spent the last several days working here with just to scrape together enough coin to try and make her way onwards, to find something else worth following. And with that, Max, please introduce us to Jules Hope.
Jules Hope is this blonde-haired girl that is so blonde that is nearly white, these crystal blue eyes. She's got very pale skin and has just this very friendly demeanor. She's kind of average height, kind of 5'6"-ish. And you look at her and she looks really nice and quaint and dainty, and then you get a little bit closer, and under all the frills of her barmaid kind of costume, there's a little bit more muscle there, maybe from working at more rough pubs that she's more used to. But at the moment, she's probably writing notes maybe for shopping lists and stuff like that, and kind of counting her own money and making sure she has enough.
Wonderful, thank you. And Jules, for you today, it's been actually fairly busy. The storm that's currently plaguing the area rolled in 5-6 hours ago, driving a nearby trade caravan off-road and into your welcoming cans. In total, 4 separate caravans are pulled up, carrying 12 distinctly mixed individuals into the bar, various levels of wealth to their name, and that's all really the owner of the bar, the wonderful Stefan Blauer, had any interest in noting. They come along with a small group of armed men, well, men and women, clad in leather with flintlock pistols strapped to their belts, small fighting knives hidden away just in the confines of their clothes, something that your years working in this industry have helped you really just pick up on before it gets a little bit out of control. Over in the corner, off to the side slightly, there's another man who's been staying here for a couple of days. You haven't really caught his name, as frankly, you've not been overly interested. He's sat there nursing away a drink, watching the last remnants of it disappear down his gullet. As above you, the musicians, the wonderful Tade and Anil, play the piano and sing along as the night whiles into the wee hours. You're still just leaning there, scribbling down lists of things that you know need to be picked up the next day, glancing over to see Stephen arguing with one of the tradesmen about the cost of a room and how to bring it down, when a figure just kind of moves up next to you, a small, fairly portly young man by the name of Garrett, who is the son of Stefan.
Hi there. How you doing? How you doing there, Pumpkin? Is there anything you need?
It's Garrett, not Pumpkin. I've told you before. Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Garrett. Yeah.
I mean, I can call you Blondie if you want, or I can stick with your name.
You can if you want, if it makes you feel more comfortable. I don't mind. Whatever's easiest for you. Sorry, what would you need?
Dad wants you to go over and have a chat with everyone. Make sure that drinks are flowing. Keep the coin going, he says.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Thank you.
And I'm going to get to my corner, kind of look into the corner and kind of straighten myself up a little bit more, kind of press up the bosoms a little bit more, and then start heading out to everyone.
You slide out from behind the bar and just kind of casually make your way past each of the tables. You kind of catch the attention of one or two of the mercenary-looking types who just wave you off, their drinks still full as they each lean over small cups containing dice underneath as they engage in another round of betting. Over on the far end of the bar, you can see the other man from earlier still nursing the last of his drinks. And as you kind of make your way across towards him, the watchman who's just been nailing up one of the posters to the wanted board, nailing up one of the posters to the notice board. Do apologize. Steps away and just kind of walks his way straight over to you. Miss?
Yeah, how can I help?
Just need to check. Have you seen any of these people? He says, no. And he just kind of unfurls the poster.
Won't even look at the poster and will say no. No, never seen him.
Are you sure?
Yeah, never seen him in my life. I've got quite the eye. I can remember people. Never seen him.
Oh, well, thank you. And he just kind of quietly
You're
rolls it back up. Do you
There's
have...
always a drink if you need.
That was going to be my next question, actually. Do you just have water? I'm not meant to... He just gestures to his uniform.
How about I get you one? Just a small one?
Just a small one will do wonderfully.
All right.
I'll just pop myself down on the bar. Who do I need to talk to about getting a room later on?
Stephen, over there. He's talking to someone right now, but he should be free in a sec. But yeah, I'll go get you a drink. Thanks.
Thank you. He just moves off from you and removes the small leather helmet he's carrying, places that on the table. Same unbuckles his belt, removes the sword and the small pistol, places that again just on the table next to him, completely irrelevant of the danger the items carry, and just settles in and just watches you expectantly as you make your way around, and just kind of happily waits for his drink. Nearby, James, please introduce us to Alister. Ideally, when we can hear you.
My microphone is being very weird this evening. I have no idea why. Apologies for that. So, Alister is a short, slightly stocky guy. He's got close cropped brown hair and stubble. He's got quite a long nose. He's got frown lines around his face and his mouth. He's wearing something that looks like it's well worn. It doesn't look like it's brand new. It looks like it's seen better days. It's quite grubby. He's got like a cotton shirt with sort of a jacket over the top, like a leather tan kind of thing. This man looks like he has seen a day's work, knows what a day's work looks like, and has seen the brunt end of that as well. But he's sitting there nursing his pint. So, yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. As you literally finish off your pints, trying that last dreg that you've been trying to keep going for as long as possible slowly fades away. You kind of thumb your pockets as that last drip vanishes, very, very aware of the last few coins that are kind of rattling around in there. Enough to get you through another night or so of staying in the inn, and not a huge amount more. As you're kind of sat there, just pondering your existence for a moment, the watchman that was placing the poster up not too long ago, just sitting down, glances over his shoulder at you, just smiles and nods.
Just take a look at him, focus on the glass, say nothing. Don't want to get in any trouble. Just focus on the empty glass as if it's my world right now.
You kind of, as you say, look away, and you get the distinct impression that regardless of your intent of wanting to be left alone, you just hear, without looking up, the stool getting pushed away, the fairly heavy footsteps of the man walking directly over to you and pulling the stool next to you out of place, and just dropping himself down. Hi there.
What do you want, friend?
What? My name's Horst, he says, and just extends his hand out before very slowly... It's a family name.
Horst as in unhorsed. Looks like a horse. What business have you got with me, Horst? What do I want? I'm sitting here, I'm at the bar, I'm clearly having a drink.
Well, just kind of fumbles for a moment, reaches back down to his pocket and pulls out another small wanted poster and just lays it out on the table in front of you. I'm just looking to see if anyone has spotted any of the individuals on this poster. You may have heard the wanted criminals, the murderers that have been making their way down the southern roads.
What's that to me, Horst? What is it?
Well, you're on the southern roads. Maybe you've seen something or heard something. Anything could be good. You know.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you for what. I'll tell you for what. Looking at posters and identifying people who I may or may not have seen on my many travels. That sounds like work to me, Horst. I get paid for work, Horst. And I'll take payment in form of another drink.
Oh, he just kind of turns in place. Excuse me, miss?
Yeah, how can I help?
Can I just get another of whatever this...
But you're at work! You shouldn't be. You know what?
No. For the gentleman. For the gentleman. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
What, man?
No, sorry, his.
That's fine. No one ever asked my name.
What's your name, young miss? Miss,
Jules. Jules Hope.
Jules.
Yeah.
Jules Hope. It's lovely to meet you, Jules.
And you?
I am
Good
Alister.
Fella. Alister. Right.
See,
What a
people,
lovely
Jules.
name.
Thank
What a
you.
lovely
Some people know. Some people know how to be introduced. Some people know how to say hello. And other people go about it the wrong way, and I'm just going to look straight at Horst.
Well, Dad's calling me to go get you your drink. I'll be back in a sec.
Kind of averts his eyes from you for a moment, just looks down onto the table as if willing it to just open up and swallow him.
I've ran away because this looks way too awkward to go for the pie.
Some awkward.
Oh God!
It's some awkward skills.
Look at the time. I've got to go. That kind of stuff.
This is what it's all about.
And your pint right there.
Thank you very much, Jules. That's very, very kind of you.
And
yes. He kind of glances back over to his sword and pistol, and you can see as he looks at it, the coin purse is also attached to it.
don't worry, hon. Stay there. I'll go get it. You know what? I might even bring it over to you. I'll bring it over. As I bring it over, I'm gonna try and nick a little bit of change.
Absolutely
on his
fine.
pocket.
Can I see her try and do this?
Of course.
Do
Tell
I
you
need
what,
to take a test for that, or should I?
Matt, Jules, if you wouldn't mind, can you make me a stealth coordination check? And
Shit, I'm
Alister,
good at that.
can you make me an insight observation check, please?
You know what? I'm not that bad. Right. Oh, shit.
That is 2 successes for me.
Stealth, Jules?
Two successes as well.
And, yep, 2 successes.
Jules, you just slide over, and in the moment that you hand Horst his little coin purse, you just slip out 3 times what the actual cost of the drink is. Gaining yourself 4 coin in the process, which, from Alister's perspective, you just watch it happen.
Yeah. I was going to make a sudden movement with my point or spill some of it on the poster to aid that happening if it hadn't happened. But I'm more than happy just to see that happen, see the law pay for some of its mistakes.
Do I know that Alister has seen Jules do this?
As you kind of hand Horst the purse, and he just looks up at you thankfully.
You're welcome there, huh?
Not a clue in the world of what's just transpired. You glance up and just lock eyes briefly with Alister, who sits
I wink
there with a
and then walk
small
away.
smile.
I wink again.
Yeah.
Thanks, hon. I'll see you later. And kind of like skip kind of flirtily. I don't know how to. It's kind of like
Surely
like
skipping
perky.
flirtily
Yeah,
while sitting in a chair. Go
Well,
on.
it's quite difficult. I mean, there's
That
not
works.
much I can do.
That works. That's fantastic.
Move those hips.
Also, this to go slightly meta for a moment. I need someone to volunteer as honorary momentum tracker.
I'll do it.
Wonderful. Gain 2 momentum.
We'll need it.
And at that moment, kind of happy to have his gear back, Horst just again plops it down on the table in front of him, directly between the two of you. So you've got your drink. Is anyone on here recognizable to you? Have you seen anything? Observe and report, as they say.
I'll give it my full attention. And so Alister's just gonna look at it, and then look up at him and go, "Haven't seen any of them. Nope.
None of them? You're sure?
Not a single one."
Oh, okay. Well, if that changes, if you spot anyone from here, please don't go near them. Very dangerous people, or so I've been informed. Just report. Head to your nearest warden office or protectorate, and we'll be able to take that information on. There is a reward for any helpful information.
What is it they're meant to have done, Horst?
He gestures down at the poster, and just running along the base, you can see kidnapping, arson, murder, property damage, and the list just continues.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, seems an awful lot for one group. I'm not sure any one group could achieve all of that. But if I see him, Horst, you'll be among the first to know.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, thank you. Well, enjoy your drink. I'll be there if you need me for any reason. And he just kind of jumps up from his chair, pushing it back again slightly, and turns to leave. Takes a couple of steps, stops, turns back, heads back to the table, picks up his equipment, and then just meanders off.
This close to stealing all this shit.
Yeah.
Free stuff.
I'm more than happy if you want to give it a shot.
No. I've other plans. Yeah.
Too close to the sun.
Yeah, exactly. The dice were good so far. Let's not test them out this time.
Push it on.
Absolutely fine. He steps away, makes his way back to the bar, and the next 5 or 10 minutes pass with yourself, Jules, making your way around, making sure drinks are filled. Stefan continues his conversation with a couple of the tradesmen before eventually returning back to speak with his son. Alister, you nurse your drink from start to finish and continue to just watch the door, keeping yourself abreast of any change, any alteration in the atmosphere. All the while, the lovely tones of Anil waft down from upstairs, the second floor, where you can see a group of fairly local people singing, joining in as the piano plays a lot way in the background. If it wasn't for the storm and the rattling of the windows outside, it would be a wonderful atmosphere, warm, cozy, the air tinted with fresh spice. But there's this just air about it, this strong feeling of unease, as if the building was moments from being just ripped off of the ground and taken by the winds. And it's with that you kind of sit for 5-10 minutes or so. Is there anything either of you would like to do?
Not that I know of. Apart from just keep working.
I'm just going to keep an eye on Jules and see if there's anything interesting, special, untoward about her that I just need to keep an eye on. See if she continues to skim, and if that's something that I need to notice or keep a watchful track of.
I shouldn't be stealing from anyone in the pub apart from that person that I stole from.
Apart from the law.
That.
Nice.
Apart from the law.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Apart from that one very specific person.
That one specific person for some reason.
Because, screw that guy.
I almost feel bad for him. Almost. But not quite.
Absolutely perfect. As I say, 10 minutes or so passes, and very suddenly the door to the main door to the building just swings open. You get the impression that someone's just trying to push it, and the wind's grabbed it and taken it with them. 4 figures very quickly make their way in, hands covering their heads or hoods covering them, just as the rain beats at their back and starts to waterlog their clothes. The hems of whatever they're wearing just billowing forth in the wind as they hurry through. You see 2 women and a man, followed by a small child, who make their way in and just slam the door closed behind them. for a moment, you catch a few glances from people around the bar. The both of you kind of check up, see them kind of enter, and just watch as they stand there just wiping themselves clean of the rain for a moment. And almost immediately you can see Stefan's eyes light up as more than probably wealthy patrons make their way in, and he starts to kind of navigate his way past the tradesmen, past the security, and over to them. So that moment, Jago, please describe Jack.
Okay, so Jack is a man with about who's about 6 foot tall, mahogany skin, dark hair that kind of comes down to just past his ears. Probably could do with a haircut. A bit of a stubble. He wouldn't say he's unfit, but he's definitely been. There's an air of someone who had more muscle than currently is there. Tattered clothes, long tattered cloak. I almost said cloak there, coat. Where looks like the sun's gotten to it a bit. It's the colour's faded. The seams are fraying a bit. Probably some moths have had a nice lunch on it. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And Holly, Edlynnne, just behind him.
Yep. So Edlynnne stands at about 5'4", 5'5". She has about, you could tell she like once had kind of like blondish hair. It's been like cut to about here, but it's kind of like it's hidden by her hood, but parts of it are coming out, and it's surprisingly spiked with a little bit of a metal, which is maybe she's just going for like some sort of like newer look or something. Kind of like an like heavy kind of coat kind of around her, soaked completely in rain, like obviously very bad storm. Also kind of hidden by her cloak is just a sword that she's kind of, you can tell she's kind of hiding something by the way she's kind of holding her arms a bit too close to that body, a bit too close to her body anyway. But yeah, very much still kind of head over, cloak over head, try just to not be seen really.
Excellent, thank you. And just making their way in between the two of them, almost naturally kind of assuming control of the situation as the innkeeper makes his way over. Lynn, please.
So, yeah, Cecily is a little bit above average height, maybe 5'7", 5'8". The impression you get from looking at her is just beige. She's very unassuming to look at. She has a very long, sort of ankle length, beige traveler's coat, knee-high leather walking boots, long brown hair, and behind all this sort of unassuming quality, her eyes, which are this deep blue, do belie quite a deep level of intelligence. But at the moment she is looking very damp for one, but also quite tired and quite drawn, as if she's sort of she's verging on exhausted. But she's kind of just keeping herself together at the moment with the group until they can actually sit and rest a while.
Wonderful, thank you. And just behind the three of them stands a small child, kind of gripping onto the hems of Edlynn's clothing, very, very overdressed. You can see behind this heavy hood and large scarf and heavy shirt, possibly the outlines of a child. Small, very energetic eyes dart out from beneath the hood, scanning the room, and a little smile kind of playing on these very, very thin, almost pale grey lips. As Stefan makes his way over to you, the child just steps slightly out of his line of sight, nestling in behind Edlynnne and just pulling slightly on the hem of your clothing just to get your attention for a moment.
With that, I kind of just like look down at him and just look down at them and just kind of give them a kind of "are you okay?" kind of look.
They just look up at you and give a small smile, and then using the sign language taught to them by Jack, they just kind of look up at you and just go, which you recognise as just them asking to play.
I just look at them and I go, just wait until we talk to this man and then we'll find you something to play with.
look down a little bit dejected. Then as they kind of fix their eyes on the floor, Stefan marches past the last of the security and introduces himself. Hello. Pleasure to meet each and every one of you. Welcome to the Strangest of Places. Please, we will be staying for a drink, for food, for both. What suits you?
So I look at the group and we're all really rather tired, I'm afraid. Could we please just have a table and just a couple of minutes to sit down and rest and maybe come back to you?
Of course, please. There's a table there, free, just close to the fire. Jules, he says, just clicking his fingers.
How can I help?
Please see to these lovely people, make sure their every need is met. And
you are.
If there's anything you want, I'm sure we can get it for you. And if we don't have it, we can. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Go, please, enjoy yourselves. And he just immediately kind of gives you a warm pat on the shoulder and departs seeking more money elsewhere.
Right, you are right. Let's get you to your seat. Here you go. Nice and warm. Hopefully, if you want to take your cloaks off and want to pop them by the fire to warm it up, if you like, fine by me. But if any drinks right here? No drinks?
I mean, I don't need any drinks, guys. Are you?
Water? Drinks?
I could definitely do with water to begin with, just to refresh myself, please. And
I'll take a pint.
A pint, right?
Definitely some water for the kid here, if that's okay.
For the kid?
Yeah.
I don't
kind of
know
glance down at the kid, who's already looked at Jack following his statement of a pint and just gone,
unless you have ID, you ain't getting it. No, sorry. Your kid's a funny one. I like him. I'll go get you your drinks. I'll be back in a sec.
At that, you just slide away and head back to the bar. For Jack, for Cecily, and for Edlynnne, you arrived not too long ago, heading along the southern road as you have been for the last few days on the back of your caravan. Your final companion, Subil, is still outside, trying to wrestle the horses into one of the nearby stables, just to lash them up for the night and head his way back in. You get the feeling, the way you left him, that there may be something else at play. The idea of potentially coming into a large building full of people, not high on his hit list for the evening. Yeah. You settle down, though, into the relative warmth of the building. It's cozy, which is something that's only really emboldened by the fact that you have been riding through that storm for nearly 2 hours. You are tired, wet, cold, and above everything, slightly irritable. It's been a very long few days. And now as you kind of finally sit, you just feel this wave of warmth rush over your skin and peace, if only for a moment. Jules, can I ask you to make me a quick reason observation check, please? Just difficulty 1.
Reason observation. 2 passes.
Wonderful. Generate 1 momentum. As you kind of make your way back to the bar, picking up a few fresh glasses, your eyes just kind of rest back on the table as you see people settling down. And it doesn't take you too long just to make some very small connection. As passing your eyes across each and every one of them, the man with the mahogany skin, he looks incredibly familiar. Your eyes move from him across to the notice board and back. It doesn't take much to make that connection, as you recognize the man from the posters.
I'm going to, as stealthily as possible, take down the posters of them.
You start to
and pocket it if I can.
You go to make yourself just back away from the bar. As you do, a horse just kind of waves at you for a moment. Sorry, could I just get a refill, please? I hate to be a bother.
Right, you are. I was gonna say, how much did you give me last time? As he's looking into his purse, I'd like to take down the poster. Because he's now going to recognise that there's a little bit less than there was.
He does grab hold of his compress and just open it up, have a little look, and you can see him kind of... And it just takes a moment as you just dart around and just kind of very quickly try to pull that one down as stealthily as possible. Please make an agility stealth check for me.
Okay, I'm going to need momentum here.
Yeah, well, we got 3 momentum.
Okay, okay.
You can spend it all. You can spend it all and buy 2 dice, or one for one.
I'll 1 for 1, I think. So
You got it,
stealth and
at the same time, stealth and agility.
Okay.
Can I ask everyone else to make an insight observation check, please?
No! Insight observation 11.
Oh, this is gonna fail.
Be good to me, dice.
Oh, 3 passes.
Oh!
That was 2 fails.
1 success.
1 success.
I got
no.
3 successes. That's 2 successes, and one of them's a critical. So.
Hey.
Wonderful.
No, Alister knows everything.
Everything!
I know who you are.
Because I'm very out of practice, what counts as critical? Is it just a 1 that's a critical?
It's a 1 unless your observation skill has a focus in sight.
Alas, no. Okay, it's just 1 success then.
No worries at all. So, for Jack, Cecily, and Edlynnne, you just sit around the table and relax. Everything in the world around you may as well be mist and smoke for how much it matters right now. The warmth of the fire playing out across you is nirvana itself. For Alister, sitting, having nursed about a 10th of his drink, still watching, you've already clocked the new guests and started to make your own connections where you can. The moment you see Jules step away from them, watch them from a distance, and then within a few moments skirt around the bar quietly and carefully, just pulling posters down, rolling them into the little apron on the front of her and pocketing them there where she can. Your conclusions are made. The other thing you notice is the small security group also watching her do this. You watch as one of the men, a short, very short, gaunt-looking man with bright ginger hair and this mess of a beard, kind of elbows another of the group. This one, taller, blonde, with a few blemishes and scars running along the left-hand side of his face. And they just both look over their shoulders and watch as Jules picks off the last of the posters and makes her way back around to the bar itself. Exactly at the time that the watchman just kind of goes, I'm really sorry, did I pay you too much earlier?
Man, don't worry anyway, I'm gonna get you your drink. You don't have to pay. This one's on me, even though I've taken his money before. So right, there you go.
As you kind of put it down, you can see him just putting, but that's not how that works.
It's okay, you.
While that's happening, I'm gonna walk over to Horst in that situation and say, Horst.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. How can I help you, citizen?
It's come to me.
Oh?
Something rattled around that drink. It's not something loose. The boulders have rattled and they've come down.
Yes,
soon as
please.
I've seen them before. I have seen them. I've seen them before.
And where? Where did you see them?
Not long before I turned up here.
Mm-hmm.
Even this evening on the way after having a walk, I saw them I'm certain of it, 100% certain of it. I saw them traveling to the east fast. I don't know whether, I think they were on horseback. They may have been on horseback, traveling very fast to the east. And I feel they could be caught if there were someone of enough courage and pluck and civic-mindedness to go after them now. They would be within their clutches very quickly. That elixir that you bought me has clearly jogged it, and to the east now is definitely where they've gone, 100%, completely. I'm certain.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. He just snaps the notebook shut, slides it in his pocket, and just kind of stumbles over to grab his equipment. Don't worry about that drink, miss. I do apologize. Please keep the money. It's fine. And he kind of just turns and starts heading over to the door, swings it open, and immediately the gust and the bluster of the storm bites back in his face, and you just see him stand there for a moment, door still in hand, and contemplate.
Bye then. See you later. Oh, he's such a nice guy. See you later. See you later. I'm like yelling at him to really judge him to go.
And I ask, we'll say this will be James. Can you make me a will persuasion check, please? Jules, please assist.
Oh yeah. And assistance is just 2 dice or just one?
Just the one.
I may need a point of momentum to make this work, to be honest.
That is workable.
What is it?
Grab one of those.
Yeah, that's all done. That's already counted.
Is it just the dice?
Check. Yeah, it's just the dice. You're still working off of your skill. It's just you need it. If Alister gets a success, any successes you get are added in. If he gets nothing, it doesn't matter.
One success with the third die, which was very lucky.
2 successes.
Wonderful. You see him stand there holding the door in hand, and for a moment you just see his legs kind of buckle a small amount, and he just kind of thumbs the sword on his hip, turns to look as if he's going to go back in.
I want to walk up and pat him on the back and say, good man.
Bye, see you later. We'll still be here.
Thank you. As he kind of goes slightly out of the door, just enough that he lets go of the door itself.
Closes the door behind him.
Yeah, Alister just slams it closed behind him as he just disappears off into the storm and the wind.
I put the pint out for Alister and just say, this must be for you then.
It seems it must. I'm going to take that, and I'm just, parked. Yeah, I'm double
pat him on the
parked.
back as he walks back to his chair.
Wonderful. The two of you just kind of depart. Alister heading back to his seat, and Jules disappearing back behind the bar. For the three of you, Edlynnne, Jack, and Cecily, this has all been very obvious. The entire bar has picked up on this loud show of affection from Jules as the young Roads Watch horse is sent on his way.
Okay. That was a thing.
Well, at least he didn't notice us. He was wearing a watchman's uniform.
That's more luck than we've had over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I feel like we shouldn't push our luck here, guys. Like, honestly.
Let's just...
keep our heads down.
Do we just... I mean, I've got half a mind to just camp in the car.
No, it's too cold in the car, and besides, if we take Sam out in the car, he may not like it.
I mean, yeah. So what? We get one room, couple people bundle in. We just all bundle in and call it a day.
I mean, I'm happy staying in the carriage again. I'm used to it now.
Yeah, I can stay in the carriage with her if you and Sam want to take her.
Yeah, I'll take the room with Sam. I mean, we'll see how... I mean, Subil, we'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work out with Subil.
Have we got... How much money do we have?
Well, I don't have any, I don't think.
I have none. I thought Subil had some.
Yeah, I think
Sybil's got the fucking cash.
He does.
Shit.
He's the only one that we can trust with it.
That's true. That's horribly true. I don't want to go out there. And I've just done fine. Fuck. Okay.
He'll be in short. He'll be in. Let's just sit. Let's just chill. Let's try and dry out some. And
let's make sure that Sam doesn't get any of your pint like he did, like he wants to do, Jack. So maybe just keep an eye on him. Then.
It's fine.
Sam just sits there in between each of you, kind of already having placed their little teddy bear with only one eye on the table and just watching. As you kind of go through the conversation and start discussing the idea of going back into the caravan, they just kind of take the bear's head and start turning it from side to side and just looking at you and just going,
Okay, so no car, that's fine. You don't have to go in the car.
Let's just wait for Subil. Wait for Subil.
We'll make it work. We've come this far. What could go wrong?
Don't ask that question. It's not asking you questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, for both for Jules, you've made your way back to the bar, quietly kind of taken those posters out and slid them under the counter. As Garrett just kind of grabs your attention. Are you going to get them their drinks or what?
Right you are. Yeah.
Right, I am. I'm always right. He says,
You so are you. He's such a hunk, isn't he?
And he just waddles back into the back room, off to the stovetop itself. And Alister, you're still sat there relatively, watching along from the distance. Jules, you finish your drinks, make your way around, march across the room, and as you're kind of making your way there, one of the security detail just kind of wave over at you. Oi!
I'll be with you one sec. I'll just do this table, and then I'll come straight to you.
Just another round when you're ready.
On it, hun. I walk down.
He goes back to his game.
Hi there. Your drinks? I do usually pay straight away, unless you want to open a tab. However, the problem is most people I open a tab for you folk. I'm gonna slip out kind of one of the wanted posters. You're not gonna stay that long, so probably only a few pints if I were you. But mum's the word, won't tell us so. And I'll walk away.
You just deposit the drinks and step away, leaving them that.
Slowly pick up the pint, take a big gulp, put it down. I was like, so remember what I said? What else could go wrong?
Yeah, about that. I'm just gonna grab Jack's drink and take a glug myself, feeling that I need it, and then just hand it back to him. And then sort of stare.
I'll just finish it. I'm finishing it.
And then sort of just stare at my water, going, great.
I hate this world.
Now what?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to head back to the garage.
Can we just have just an evening of peace and quiet?
I don't think we get that anymore, Cecily.
We just got to get out of the country.
Keep on moving.
Yeah. Okay. So
as you're kind of mulling these thoughts over, again, the child just reaches. Sam just reaches over to you, Edlynnne, just taps you on the shoulder, and once again just kind of gestures to go and play.
Yeah, you can go play, Sam. Just don't play too far away, okay? Keep where we can see you. You know the rules.
Immediately, this bright smile rips across their features, and they just hop off their stool, rushing off with the bear and producing a small carved owl from their pocket. They just rush past Alister, kind of giving you a small, little warm smile as they do, dropping themselves onto the floor in front of the fireplace, and immediately having the owl start chasing the bear off, giving these low little roars and growls for the bear, and this wonderful little hoot on occasion for the owl itself as it kind of lands down on the head of the toy.
And I just say, that's wrongly, ridiculously cute. Like ridiculously
Agreed.
cute. How very dare you in a
Agreed.
horror
How dare
game?
you.
Don't get used to it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna wait for a moment in the music. Probably some kind of rousing chorus, or if there's a bawdy or patriotic song or something that gets most people involved, or some kind of a group participation song or something like that everyone can sing along to. And while that's happening, when that's happening, watching the small child at the fire, I'm going to try and stealthily, if at all possible, make my way to the table where the rest of them are sitting, and sit down now that I see that there is clearly a free chair because the child is not there anymore.
Easily done.
This seems like there's a free chair here for anyone and any friends available. It's a horrible night, I've found. It's a horrible night outside. We can all agree, I think. These days, the sun just sets lowest in the west, with horrible evenings like this going on.
Yes, you could say that.
Indeed. Well, hopefully in the morning it will rise highest in the east for us all.
Well, that's to be hoped. That's definitely to be hoped, for sure. So again, while that's hopefully there's some noise or something going on that I can cover it, I can then
in the background. Easily so. In the background, the song has been just kind of building naturally over the last few minutes, and as Jules has been readily supplying the local security detail and all of the tradesmen with as much ale as they can physically consume, and then some more on top of that. They've all stood quite happily, roaring along with the song, singing of the old gods and their banishments, of the martyr's rise, and of course, the joys she brought us, such as friends and cold drinks. And along that roaring sensation of song, your voices are almost just lost in the morass, barely a whisper against the edge of it. It's almost at the point where you're actually having to raise your voice more than one would imagine, to even talk to one another.
Okay. Well,
I've been looking for a group such as yours. I'm assuming it's a group such as yours, given the words we've just passed together for, and the impressive rack of exploits that I see on the posters. I don't know whether all of those were you, or whether all of those are blown out of proportion by the Inquisition. However, I'm here to aid you in whatever way I can.
And why?
I think for the moment, the less you know of that, the better. You don't need to know the ins and outs. I think it should suffice that I know the passwords, and that I know that you look like you need help, if anything, from what was going on earlier is to go on. You've made quite a name for yourselves.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Well, I mean, we can always use the extra help, so.
We can do, but do we know that we can trust this man? He knows the codes.
I think at this point it doesn't matter if you can trust people or not. We're too far in it.
That's a valid point.
Welcome aboard. I guess.
Strong arm's always good in these situations, and I can offer you a strong arm if nothing else.
We do need help, I will admit, and more strength will not go.
Do you know?
Not go amiss.
All right, fine. Let's play along. Do you know anyone else who'd be willing to get out of here for a free ride, let's say?
Well, in the immediate area, few come to mind, but depending on what you can offer and what do you mean by a free ride?
We can offer a free ride with
the barmaid seems if not eager to join, at least somewhat sympathetic to your cause, to our cause.
I mean, yeah, she could have ratted us out just like that, but
Who's to say she's not going to?
no.
She loves
I don't
coin,
think
I
so.
can give you that. But
That doesn't.
She might be rather lacking in the
that-
coin area, I'm afraid.
That lends itself to ratting us out.
But why would she have ushered the warden out of the door and then taken down the posters when she could have handed us over there and then?
that was my thought.
So, well, we got a carriage. We can get her a free ride if nothing else. That's to say, she might be fucking she might be staying here. I don't know. Why are we even discussing this?
I don't know.
I'm kind of
I'm
rather
sorry.
having.
Who are you?
I'm Alister. And you are?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. You don't look like a Jonathan, but I'll take you a Jonathan. And the two... And I'll gesture to the other two sitting around the table.
I'm Cecily.
Cecily.
I kind of just as I'm about to speak, I kind of the glass I've got in my hand, I kind of just put down a bit too forcefully, and just push very far away from me, and just kind of go, yeah, I'm Edlynnne, but I'd like it if you just didn't use that name at all for a minute, if that's okay.
Fine. You then. You, Cecily, and Johnny.
You can go with that.
All right.
Indeed.
All right.
In answer to your question as to why we were talking about it, I feel given the amount of wanted posters, even the idiot who was putting them up couldn't have failed to notice, if he'd been here long enough, the remarkable similarity to your good selves. So it feels like a hasty exit might be called for, one way or the other.
I agree on that one.
Yeah, it seems like
I
it's our
mean,
best
the
option.
further away we get, really, hopefully the easier it'll be. It's just...
Not gonna. Do we know? Do you know of anywhere else that's nearby?
So
We could stay.
All of my contacts are far from here. One of the reasons I've come this far is to lend aid where I've heard it's needed, rather than any specific local connections I have. I mean, this may be another reason to feel out how the barmaid feels about it. She may have more contacts or more of an idea as to some places we could go, or some others we could help. I mean, I'm assuming you have a goal, an aim for all this destruction behind you, or is the destruction the point that you're going for in the first place?
Get out of the country. We didn't want it. We didn't want any of that to happen.
It got taken a bit too out of hand, and now we're dealing with it. And it's not going well.
We just want to leave.
Do you just want to
I think-
get out?
Yeah, we just want to go.
At this point, Cecily shivers. I turn to Edlynnne and I say, I think perhaps I'm feeling rather cold now. We should probably go.
I kind of just nod and be like, yeah, I agree. I think now's the best time. Jack, do you want to go and get Sam? It's getting...
I can do that, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll go over to the end to get Sam.
Alister, as you seem to have a rapport already with the barmaid, would you mind perhaps asking her in our stead if she would like to join us?
I'll see what I can do. I feel like I might need to know more of the aim to convince her. I mean, just leaving the country sounds good, but is there...
Dagos. At the
Dagos.
moment.
We're heading to Dagos.
You're heading to Dagos.
We can explain more about what we're doing when we've
If she
left.
needs to get off somewhere, then that's more than arrangeable if she means the completely free rider.
On the route to Dagos. Ben, just from the, just knowing off the top of my head, is there anything about Dagos that I could say, okay, that's definitely better? Is it like, even if it's sunnier, or the classic, there's no cats in America and the streets are paved with cheese? Is there anything specific that I can go, yeah, Dagos is the place?
If you can do me a quick reason academia check of difficulty 1.
There we go. Reason academia. Oh, academia.
4.
1. No, not bad.
1. Perfect.
Yeah, just the 1.
You kind of sit back in the chair for a moment and you just kind of run through your mind, backlogging information until a few brief ideas of Dagos spit up. Dagos is the largest port city in all of Chalice, resting down to the far south of the country in Khan. It is the ultimate place to get lost. If there's anyone ever looking for something they shouldn't be able to find, that's where you go. If you're looking for a way out of the country, that's where you go.
So my notes are on a Word document on that screen over there, so I have to alt-tab while I'm making notes. Apologies. I think I'll get a notepad for next session. Okay, cool. Right.
As you're kind of having this conversation, you sit back and you just muddle it over. The song continues around you, and you're still just about able to hear one another. Jules, from your position just at the edge of the bar, kind of singing along and joining in to some degree, you watch as the largest man of the security group stands up, adjusts his belt, and picks up a few small cups, kind of holding 5 of them in his hand, small leather cups, and he just walks quickly across the bar, past you, and beelines for the table where the part of the group is currently sat, literally just snatching up with his offhand a stool from the bar as he passes. He walks over, and for each of you, as you kind of lean in and talk to one another, there's a small kind of slam as he pops the chair down next to you, just in the middle of Jack and Edlynnne, and drops himself into it, placing each of those cups down on the table. Evening all. How are we?
It'd be better without the storm, but
Yeah, it's a bit cold, but it's okay.
Cold, tired, damp, not in the mood for this.
Ah, that's a shame, but don't worry. If there's one thing I'm good for, it's getting people in the mood. How are you doing? And he kind of shoves his hand out, just to each of you in turn, quite eagerly. Name's Halliburton Schmitz, of the Schmitz Road Company. How are you?
Have we heard of the Schmitz Road Company? Is that a known thing, or?
To bring it up very quickly, as you know, 1 momentum for a question, my friend.
You are right. That's not worth it.
Very much not worth it.
Ben, very quickly before we proceed, don't think we need to spend momentum on this, but from what I remember of the wanted posters is they do not have my face.
They do not have.
They do not
face
have my face.
Currently sat on each and every one of those wanted posters, for those who've seen them, is a perfect recreation of Jack's face. A slightly marred image of Edlynne's, far more unspoilt, as it were. Whereas Edlynnne, as you look at her now, has several kind of lines of what looks like metal piercings embedded into her skin. The poster itself is clean, clear, the hair longer. There's a third figure, kind of young looking, almost very unassuming, a male, with small kind of wisps of facial hair running around his lips, and finally a very gruff looking man, you'd say kind of glancing over him, putting him in the age of 30, the short cropped hair, large bushed beard, and a look of utter contempt latched on his features. But to answer the question quick and easily, no, Cecily is not on that poster. As I said, Schmitz kind of places those little cups down in front of each of you, and just clicks his hands out, immediately just roaring across the bar in a voice that cuts through the song. Lass! Another of whatever they're drinking. If it's weak, strengthen it.
But you are. I will bring them the exact same thing that they ordered before.
No trouble at all. You just busy yourself behind the bar for a moment as he just slides these little cups across to everyone, completely ignoring any motions to stop him or give an indication that you have no desire to talk to him. Right. Games, liars, dice. Have you played before?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Enough.
Well, it'll be an easy game then, won't it? And he just kind of slams his cup down, and you hear the dice inside just rattle around. Rules are
Before
simple.
you play, friend, there's usually a question of stakes.
You're right, there normally is. How's about 8,000 coins sound to you? He says as he just kind of runs his eyes across the table.
So, just here's another question for you, Ben. The wanted poster. What was the value on the wanted poster? About 8,000 coins.
About 8,000 coins.
Ah, right. Okay. Just
he's a clever man. Fuck you.
He's a smart boy.
He knows money. He can maths. Damn it. He's already got
what
me
if
beat.
you guys win? He doesn't have to pay.
I don't think we will.
That's it. That's how we escape.
It's your lives.
We win gambling.
yeah.
It's life or death you're playing for.
Oh my god, this is some.
I'm just gonna heave a hefty sigh and go, I'm not in the mood for this right now. Stand up, grab my coat, call my dog to heel, and head out to the caravan to see Subil in the hope that the other two might do the same and follow me at least.
You kind of you make that comment, pick yourself up and go to stand. He says, I really wouldn't. Sit back down.
Okay.
Seems a little aggressive over a game.
No, we are very
walk away.
tired.
Aren't we all? But still. The dice are on the table, boys and girls.
And what's to stop us walking away?
Mm-hmm.
About 7 very armed and very angry men stood in the corner there.
Probably very drunk men as well.
We do our best fighting drunk, love.
Do I hear any of this?
This is as you're kind of making your way back over, carrying on a tray each of the drinks.
Do I hear this?
Do a insight observation check for me. Considering the screaming sound of the bar, this is going to be difficulty free.
I also have a whatever in hearing, in observation.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So your skill value is also your crit range.
We only have the one momentum, just to update the group.
So, 1 crit, but that's it. So that's 2 successes.
Unfortunately, you don't really catch what's being said. You can see them talking. You can see as Cecily picks herself up and starts to try and move away. She very begrudgingly kind of stands there, not moving, glancing over her shoulder to the table on the other end, where you can see the other members of the group that the first man arrived with have placed their drinks down. All of them just kind of sitting, reclining in the chairs and watching across the room.
Is there anybody else in the... Like, how many other people are there in the bar, apart from these sort of 8 dotted about?
Make an insight observation check of 1 for me.
Yeah. It's a 7 and a 9, and my insight is... Oh, my insight's 8. So, yes, that will be observation. 2 successes.
Wonderful. Just 1 momentum then, please, Jago.
Lovely.
You quickly glance your eyes across the room, and just behind the security group, you can see, of course, the 12 tradesmen stood happily singing and laughing, staring up onto the second floor where you can see the piano player and singer. Around them are, you'd say, maybe 10 to 11 extra bodies. It's difficult to get an exact count as they move around and enjoy themselves, but in total, maybe 30, 32, 33 people.
33. Okay. Cool.
Which side is this guy sat on? Because I know he's sat next to me, like in between me and Jack. But on which side is he?
He is closest to the door as he could get. So he's on your left, back to the door.
Kind of, I would say, kind of like very slowly, with my right hand. I just want to kind of like just undraw one of my knives, just in case things start going south. But like do it like still hidden under the coat, so it's not me noticing that it's a knife.
Okay, easy done. You just kind of reach down and slowly draw the blade out. Even if it had made any sound, it would be lost quite happily beneath the din of the bar. At this moment, Jules, you arrive carrying your drinks.
Wee! Wow, this is a heavy one. Right, here's your drinks. Put it on the tab as usual. Anything else?
No, be on your way.
Right.
Hold there a second.
Right, you
So,
want?
I want to try something stupid.
That's the best way to be.
It's the best way to be, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Press the big red button. So, I would like to try. I'm sorry about this. At the top of my voice, inviting everyone in the bar to come and see this spectacle. I want to be yelling that this is the most ludicrous, most amazing bet that I've ever heard, that this person is putting down on one game of Liar's Dice, that he has this relic of the martyr that he claims he's seen, and that everyone has to come and see this. All those 30 people have to be crowded around the table, then you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. So, like, as much as is humanly possible, everybody has to come and see this. I've never seen it before in my life. It's a spectacle never thought of, never contemplated, that somebody would put this much down on one single bet, on one single round of Liar's Dice. I would like to try that.
Would you like momentum? Is my question.
Depends what you
So
ask
what
me
you're
to
going to
do.
need to do. So what that's going to be is we're going to bluntly say, "Oh, you're doing this as loud as physically possible."
Oh yeah, I've got it. Well, I need everybody. It's got to be big and verbose and over the top, right?
We are
Let's
in
go.
danger.
Brawn
And this is where we.
performance.
A lot of them are drunk as well. They're
Brawn
trying to...
persuasion. Sorry, brawn persuasion.
Brawn persuasion. Okay.
It's going to be difficulty 2, but after
God.
you pass, you're going to need to spend 2 momentum to change the truth of the bar.
Oh Jesus! How much momentum have you
Dragon.
got?
We got 2.
You got 2. You just need.
Ah,
Oh shit! And
you got a void. You got void points. I would just say that there. There's 3 of them just sitting happy
Really
in the
hope this
dark.
succeeds.
Ready?
Yeah,
I mean, you spend 1 void, you've auto passed, and then the next dice just generates more momentum. That's what I want to say.
yeah, I've got to. I mean, get bigger home from the first off, right? Straight away, bring it. Let's do it.
What I'm going to ask
Yeah,
you to
mate.
do, James, is roll those dice, but don't tell me the result quite yet.
Oh no!
I don't like
Roll
Okay.
the Lambo.
Look at the
Okay.
screen. And at that moment, we're going to go for a break.
Oh, you little bugger.
That's good. Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
We'll be back in 10 minutes, everyone, to continue. Thank you very much.
yeah.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you for bearing with us over the break as we come back to the tense conclusion of Alister's dice roll. For the eagle-eyed among us, you may notice a new add-on. We'll quickly introduce our lovely Billy. Our lovely Billy. To apologise. Our lovely Billy to the group. Please, Billy, introduce yourself.
Hello. Am I introducing character or self?
Just yourself for now.
Just yourself. Hello, I'm Billy. I am a bit bonkers, and that's why I'm here. I'm not sure quite what you'd like more to say.
That's absolutely fine for now.
Wonderful.
Okay, right. Well, as we left it last, Alister was just about to attempt to bring the entire bar in to join in your lovely game of Liar's Dice. And please, James, how did you do?
Got one success.
One
The other one was an 18.
I told you to spend void.
I did. I'm fairly certain I did say I was going to spend a void point, but I think Ben was so desperate to see what the dice roll was that we went for it. I did say I was going to spend a void point before I rolled the dice, but I don't know how you want to play that. I'm good either way.
That's absolutely fine. In which case, please add one momentum to the pool, Jago, as that's beating it by one you needed.
There, 3. The plan.
And then, of course, gain 2 momentum straight away as you change.
Yeah. So we still have 1.
And Alister, please, you spring back from your chair, raising your voice to the heavens, and please, far away, announce.
Oh, dear God. I do not believe you. I don't believe you. This is ridiculous. This is insane. How can anyone say anything like this? You must be a liar. More than just your dice, sir. You are a liar. Has anybody ever else seen anything quite like this? You, and I'm going to point people out in the bar. You need to stop that music right now and come and have a look at this. You need to all come and see this. This man, he's got to be a liar. He's lying his head off. He says he has a relic. He says he has a relic of the martyr herself.
You're joking.
He says a relic of the martyr. And he's put it on the table. He's put it on the table for this bet. Not only does he have a relic, he's up for giving it away. For on a bet. What kind of? And I'm just going to extrapolate like that. Otherwise, I'll be yelling at everybody for about 20 minutes. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. My voice can't do that. Let's not do that. But in that similar vein,
the patrons around you lock in on that on your shouting almost immediately. Your voice carrying over the sound of the music, cutting across every other person in there, singing their heart out. And you just slowly, one by one, grab the attention of those on the second floor, the tradesmen, even the curious look of many of the tradesmen themselves, who kind of turn to one another almost in kind of shocked conversation as they glance over at the rough and tumble looking man sat at the table with you. As you glance down to him, you see he has just locked you in a glare of contempt and hatred as he just quietly rolls the dice back towards him in his own cup. And you can just see him kind of grimace. And as people start to come down and crowd around you, grouping in a large circle, he just looks at you and just under his breath, you can hear the word just spat almost directly at you. Fine. We're gonna play it like this. We'll play it like this.
I want to be standing up and getting everybody standing up and crowding around him. But obviously, while everybody else is crowding around him, I'd like all of us to crowd behind him and towards the door, if at all possible.
Just looking at you, just what the fuck?
Definitely, if we're gonna try to crowd away, I want to get Sam's attention and just discreetly, get them to come over so we can, get out.
As the crowd's kind of building behind me, I want to try and wiggle my way out to go get Sam.
I'm gonna sort of just stand up and shuffle myself back.
As discreetly as possible. Just sort of, I guess, try and play it off as shot. It's like, no way, that shit's mad. You mad motherfucker, what are you doing?
In that case, just to double check, so Jack, you're trying to kind of shuffle your way away.
Yeah.
Edlynnne, you're heading to go and get Sam as best you can, and Cecily, you're just kind of trying to back off.
Yeah, trying to back off, and then whoever's behind me just offer up my seat and sort of just go, hey, you can sit here, get a close look, go for it. And then, shimmy my way towards the door.
Wonderful. Okay, in that case, I'm going to need each of you in order. First and foremost, Alister, can you make me a brawn athletics check as you kind of just start trying to make your way out, pushing your way through the crowd behind him. Same for yourself, Jack. Edlynnne, can you make me an agility athletics check as you try to slide through, not really being able to kind of brute force in this direction. And same again for yourself, Cecily, brawn athletics, as you'll try to pick yourself up and move away.
I have no athletics. This is going to be great.
Who's going first? Okay, I'll do it.
Go for it.
Should I spend the last momentum? I mean, stop it. No, let's go. 2 successes.
Wonderful.
I'll go next. 2 successes.
Perfect.
1 success.
One. And Alister?
1 success.
Okay. Jack, you easily just pick yourself up and just kind of brute force your way towards the door, watching as the man sorry, excuse me, to apologize. Give me a second. As the man kind of picks himself up and just glares over you. I said, sit down. Almost immediately, just from the side, Alister, you go to move out, stepping towards the crowd, and as you do, 2 of the securities that you tell just kind of move through it and block your passage. The same with Cecily. Both you just being kind of kicked off from the crowd as they just make their way up, arms folded, keeping themselves between you and the door. Jack, having already passed behind them, just about to reach out for the handle as you kind of look back over your shoulder and realize the others have been blocked off. Edlynnne, as you start cutting your way through the crowds, heading off towards where you last saw Sam down by the fireplace, you cut through the last of a couple of people kind of very eagerly moving up, chatting between themselves, and you hear, "Oh, Relic, that's amazing." And you get a quick glance out and you see Jack, you see Sam leaning down, playing with his toys, and just next to him, kind of holding the bear and making it step from side to side, one of the security, one of the thugs, thin, very gaunt-looking ginger man, kind of looks over at you with a small smile, and as the child is distracted, he just pats the pistol on his side.
I just look at that and I just very discreetly just like open my coat and show him the sword, and it basically just in the whole thing of, if he wants to fight, then I do it. I don't care at this point.
It just kind of smiles at you. You get the feeling that he's more than happy. Jules, you're watching all of this.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Right.
Oh, no.
I would like to kind of use my womanly charm to get all the drunk men that are really horny and just try and attract them as much as I can to the table. And then once there's a time, I'd like to stand by the bell for last calls, just in case something fucks up, and I can ring the bell for last call for people to come and mix so people get lost in the crowd.
You position yourself as best you can. Can you make me a will persuasion check then, please? This is just... We're going to say difficulty 1 for that.
What am I persuading? Am I using my charm?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because I've got... Okay, 2 passes.
Wonderful. Please generate momentum off of that one, Jago. And you stand there and just join in Alister's raucous calls for attention and approval, and just
I'll just whistle. I'll go, "Howdy! My word! He's got something amazing! Oh, so Catch me! I'm going to fall into some guys if I can.
Easily done. You just collapse backwards, and one of the tradesmen grabs you, and you get the feeling he's already had a few. He kind of stumbles back.
Whoa, careful, huh? You've had too much. And I'll walk away.
I'm done.
I'm walking chaos. That's my character.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
And as kind of all this happening, Schmitz just glares over at Alister. Well, just kind of stepping up behind you between his accomplices and yourselves. Stands on the other side, just behind you next to the table. Well, you brought everyone over. Why don't we sit down and play?
At that point, then, I think I'm going to ask to see the goods first. If we're going to put up 8,000 for this, then I think you've got to produce the relic so everyone can see. Got to show us the relic, and I'm going to start show us the relic, and pushing people towards him as much as possible, so that people are haranguing, so I can get the crowd haranguing him. And
Turning the crowd
doing that. Yeah.
Make a will persuasion check for me, please. Difficulty 2, just to rile the crowd up.
Will persuasion check. Oh, this is not going to go well. Oh yeah, 1 success. Oof, I needed to get under 7, and I got a 5. Bricky it. I got one success.
You start kind of calling out, and some of the crowd join in, not fully though. You get those who are nearby, and there's the slow chant of "show it, show it, show it." Starts to build up and very slowly make its way around. You get the feeling it's catching, but hasn't quite made it there. As you kind of do that, you turn back to him, and he just kind of takes you by the shoulder, brings you in as he would a friend, and just opens his jacket slightly to show the rolled up wanted poster inside.
How did he get any of them? I've taken them all.
You get the feeling he may have been carrying them before here.
Oh, fuck!
Mind blown, a printer exists.
This one just a completely different colour to the ones that have been left up on the sides. And he just kind of shows it to Alister. I mean, I can show them if you want. I can guarantee there's more people than just me who are after this.
At which point I'll open my coat and show the long trowel-like knife and say, if you're going to show me yours, I'm going to show you mine.
Oh.
Kind of smiles at you.
Because you've got a hand around my shoulder, but I've got my hand on the handle.
He just smiles, kind of goes in, "You're not wrong." As he just reels his head back and twats you in the face with his forehead.
Bring it.
Can you make a agility fighting check for me, please? Opposed?
No, because I suck. Agility fighting, let's see. 1 success!
Hey, that's
Jesus, I keep
something.
rolling 5s.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's not just stuck on 5s. Yeah, 1 success.
1 success?
Mm-hmm.
That is beaten by 2, unfortunately.
Oh, god damn it.
In a sudden kind of burst of motion from his point, he just cracks his forehead directly into your nose. You take 4 points of stress as he rolls.
That's one way to put it.
That hurt.
That's bad.
That hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
They'll also be spending 2 points of chaos.
Oh.
As you kind of gain a very temporary truth of stunned, as you lean back, him letting you go and just kind of stumble back into the crowd, your nose immediately kind of erupting in blood, which bursts down into your beard, and you just kind of cough and just shake your head for a moment, your vision slightly blurring, as he just kind of turns back to the crowd, shouts just kind of a roar of joy, and immediately just takes his jacket and kind of flings it to the floor. His little companions in the group just start spreading people back, and the cheers of "show it, show it" rapidly devolve into fight, 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 fight,
Where's
fight.
Where's Stephen and his son?
Stephen, you
Step
kind of
listen.
glance back looking as you can see Stephen stood behind the bar, rapidly just taking bottles and burying them into the next room.
That's about right. Yeah.
The expensive stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as the room hits kind of fever pitch, we divert and join Subil outside. In the blistering rain and stuck out in the cold and dead of the night, lightning arcing above the head, the interior of a small stable just about keeping the worst of the storm off, as several other caravans have already been set up and space is minimal at best. We find Subil, drenched by the rain and somehow gripping onto two roaring and reeling horses, holding them by the reins and just trying his best to pull them into place. Billy, please, can you give us a description of Subil?
Of course. Well, Subil is a fairly ordinary-sized man, nothing too spectacular, not too tall, not too short. He's got longish jet black hair, which he can style in various different ways, often changing up the style on the whim. He wears very baggy clothing, very loose-fitting, very breezy and airy, which go with the bags under his eyes, because he's a very frail, sort of thin man, almost like someone that's gone on a diet for a few years and decided to not anymore. He's struggling. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you very much. You, as I say, are currently stood out in the rain. You have been for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so now. Just kind of fighting with your horses, trying to get them in place, tie them down before they disappear off into the torrential storm that has taken Chalice over the last few hours. Your clothes are heavy and drenched with water, and you can just feel kind of the chill on the wind slowly making its way into them and just chilling your bones to the absolute core. As you kind of stand there holding them in place, you're just shouting out your own orders at the horses. Please, can you make me a, let's say, will survival check? It'll be difficulty 2. If you have animal handling, now it comes into place.
What do I do? Let's take a look. Will survival. Here we go. So that is 1 success.
1 success. You try to grip the horses as best you can and just pull them in. They whinny and pull against you, and at one point, the reins, sopping wet, just slip loose from your hands on one of them, causing the horse to pull away and just start trying to preen off, causing the entire cart to follow with it slightly, as you still grip meekly onto the first, it already trying to yank free from you. And as you kind of stand there in the cold and the desperate rain, trying to pull some level of control back, lightning continues to arc around you. Is there anything you would like to do? Preferably with a voice.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there.
Speak. I still can't hear you.
Okay, your mic
Okay,
is-
there we go.
Hey!
First up, I would love to get control of my carriage. That's basically where I live. So I'm absolutely going to get control of the horses. I'm going to assume I know these horses.
Yeah.
Ish. So I'll shout out their names. Do they have any particular specific names yet?
Well, they are your horses, Billy.
In which case,
Simon
I'm
and
going to
Larry.
shout, John, stop! Stop! Here! Stop! Gary! No! Gary! Stop here! Here! Grab the reins and try to get control of John and Gary.
You've named them now.
You've named them. I'm going to make that.
It's in my notes.
You've named
You
them.
gotta
I'm
get
gonna make that
attacked.
check
Chance was there.
unless you
Chance
get
was there. I had to take it.
It's true.
Can you make another will survival check or brawn survival if you would prefer? Difficulty
Absolutely.
1.
That is 2 successes.
Wonderful. Generate 1 momentum for me, please, Jago. You
Will do.
eventually lash the horses in place, bringing John to heel and just smacking it across the nose to keep it quiet, and just start bringing them back, pulling them into the carriage, into the stables, and just slowly wrapping them in place as the world continues to just roil around you. And as you kind of bring them in place, they slowly calm, start to kind of take to the hay. You start just flinging in place in front of them, and just dry your hair for a moment, run your hands through, and just fling the worst of it onto the floor. This small puddle kind of building up, and you just see yourself there for a moment, reflected on the grease of the floor. A couple of arcs of lightning lighting the room for you, just for a moment.
I ask how long I've been alone.
Not too long, about half an hour or so.
I have time to cause trouble for the group that I know.
You can hear just dimly through the walls nearby, shouting and singing. And you just hear that kind of slowly twisting into shouts, shouts of encouragement.
Can I make out what they're saying?
Make me an insight observation check, please. Difficulty 2, if you're trying to listen through the wall.
Ooh, generate us more momentum.
That is that one. 3 successes.
Wonderful. So
Good
momentum,
stuff.
please.
Go down here.
You
More momentum.
kind of lean onto the wall, place your ear to it, and just through the brick and the wood, just about make out the words "fight, fight, fight."
These guys.
In which case, after hearing that, I'm just going to run back to the carriage, and knowing this group, I'm already fairly set, ready for a quick getaway, but I'm going to make sure that everything is set and ready and that the carriage is on point, because I know that there may definitely be a fast escape.
Easily done. You make your way over and just check over everything, swing the doors open, make sure the interior is in place. Even going as far as to climb into the compartment just at the back, opening the small kind of semi-hidden door to the large cool room that lies inside. Making sure everything is set, you step back and just breathe a sigh of relief. Turn, and as you do, just layered on the wall across from you, you can see the shadows of what look to be arms just kind of reaching across.
I'm jumping back. I'm taking a look at that, whatever it is.
You snap back, pinning yourself up against the wall, kind of hands outstretched, and as the lightning and flashes once again and the moon's light fades at a slightly different angle, you just see the tree branches still swaying happily in the breeze.
Your voice has gone again.
It's just trees. This is just trees.
Just trees.
Okay. Compose myself a little bit, just get my bearings, and once again, make sure that none of my companions are, lying face first outside the front of the bar or where I'd usually expect them, or something like that.
You kind of step out of the carriage, closing the windows, closing the doors, and just wiping some of the water that's made its way through the windowless doors out onto the floor, and just quietly start making your way around the front, bringing your hands up again just to cover your head. And as you go, you pass by one of the windows, briefly looking inside to see the crowd. This large crowd of people has surrounded one end of the bar, leaving the rest completely unoccupied and empty. And you just kind of glance in there for a moment. You just catch your own reflection for a second. Seeing your own features aged, more tired than you remember them looking. These small pinpricks of stone just pointing out from below your stubble. And you just kind of, Endra, rub your hand over it for a moment. Look down, and as you look back up briefly, you realize the window shows your reflection without a face.
double taking that, definitely.
You look away, slam your eyes shut, grimace, and look back, and you find yourself out there just looking back, beaming widely.
I'm going crazy today. I'm going to carry on walking towards the thing. I'm going to avoid looking at maybe reflections and mirrors and windows and glass and hands, and make my way there. Just sort of trying to put my thoughts out of my brain. It's just trees. It's just trees. It's just a reflection. Right, let's go and get these guys out of this mess. Okay. And I'm going to march over.
You make your way over to the door quite happily, and as you reach it, just put your hand onto the handle, push it over, you just hear this sudden sound of cracking glass coming from behind you.
Definitely tied in.
Spin in place, and you can just see the window still lying there, plain as day.
Is that the only window?
The only window you walked past.
And is this a window on a building, or is this a window on a vehicle, like a carriage?
On a building, into the bar itself.
Into the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to keep heading towards the bar, but every once in a while I'm just going to glance back to the window if I'm facing a different way. Just keeping an eye. And swiftly making my way now to the bar. I should say as well, before I leave the bar, I assume that they're in the carriage is in some sort of barn or stable, I think I heard.
Correct.
Before heading straight off, I'd like to close the doors to that barn. And there wouldn't be a lock, but any sort of latch or anything, I'd place that down as well.
Easily done. You quite happily close everything off and make your way around. And just doing the occasional kind of twist back and glance to your rear, nothing changes. The wind continues to blow, the rain still slams horizontally into the building, and arcs of lightning crash in the near distance. Slowly, you step through the mud, reach the front door, and just as you turn the handle, moving to go inside, there's just a whisper. Sybil. In your ear.
Any particular direction?
Directly behind you.
Directly behind me. Okay, well, I'm going to turn. I'm going to put my back against the wall to the door that I was about to open. Take a look, see if there's anything there.
You spin in place, slam yourself against the door, glancing out into the night, and apart from the roiling countryside in front of you, you see nothing. And it's at that almost exact moment that the door behind you opens. And you stumble backwards into Jack.
All right. Shit kicked off. I hope the carriage is ready to go.
I'm going to turn to look at Jack. As I stumble into him, I'm going to get my bearings quickly.
Catch
move
him,
away
put
from
back
him,
up.
get a little bit of distance between.
You good? Sybil, we gotta go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah.
Where's the others, Jack?
You glance past
Picking
Jack
up
and
shit.
immediately see the crowd of people behind him. You can make out no less than, as I say, about 30 people spread out in a large circle around a central table, which you can already hear being pulled out of that large gap. In the center, you can see two men. One large, blonde, heavily built, wearing a leather jerkin and just having dropped his coat onto the side of the table, which is still being dragged away. And across from him, Alister. Still gripping his nose as blood kind of runs between his fingers.
The one that's getting the shit kicked out of him is Alister. Apparently, he's helping us, I guess. If can, pull him out of there, maybe?
You've been gone half an hour. I said get drinks, not recruits. What?
I didn't...
Why is there a fight?
I didn't
It's
ask
only
for it.
been 30.
Take it up with Cecily. She's the one who has a brain among us.
Why? Okay, let's go. How are we going to stop the fight? They're fighting. They're going to...
We're not. This is the perfect distraction.
No.
They're going to do their thing. We're going to get the fuck out. Then we're going to drag it. Then we're going to drag him out at the end of it.
Well, then go and get the others.
Job.
Let's go.
That's his job to get the shit beaten out of him. So let's go.
Oh no. Sort of, to my arms, man. Oh, not even go. Oh. Okay. Take a couple of deep breaths. So, right,
Let's go get him.
That you kind of march straight past Jack and make your way towards the crowd. Meanwhile, everyone else, in whichever particular order you'd like to deal with them, we will come to Alister last, considering what's happening. If I can get an action from Cecily, Edlynnne, and Jules, please.
Oh no.
Whichever order.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm just keeping eye contact with the guy that's with the guy that's with Sam. Because the second he makes a move, I'm just at this point I just don't care. I'm literally just gonna go for him and just do as much damage to him as I can. I'm waiting for the moment he moves to do it.
You stay on the edge of the crowd that's still kind of circled around. It breaks briefly as you watch a couple of these heavy-set, armed individuals that were with Schweitz bringing the table out and just dragging that away from the fist fight that's about to ensue. Across from you, of course, the young man still sits with Sam, playing away. You can see him kind of leaning in and smiling and chatting, and Sam taking to it like a duck to water, quite happily having the owl fly over the head of the bear and swing down every now and then just to land, hoot a couple of times and take off again, even as the man with him just kind of chuckles and smiles, takes out a couple of coins and even puts one onto the eye of the bear as it runs around with them. And you just kind of stand there, hand on your blade, as occasionally he just glances over to you, gives you a quick smile, and continues doing as he is.
Sounds about right.
So, Cecily.
So, with my beigeness, I am just awaiting an opportunity to disappear back into that crowd, and I would assume that Alister's starting a fight, and and Schmidt's sort of instigating that. I'm assuming that the two security guys are probably going to be momentarily distracted by that, and as soon as they're looking away, I'm back into that crowd, disappearing and wiggling my way towards that door.
Can I get you to make an opposed stealth agility check then, please, against them?
Oh, I have no stealth. Oh, I do. No, I have one. Okay, that's fine. I have a singular stealth.
But one singular stealth.
Just one stealth. I have a bit more agility.
Or something.
One success. Wait, hang about. Yes, one. I can't count.
You kind of watch as you see the two of them kind of stand just in front of you, watching the fight quite gladly. One of the two, shorter, stockier chap, completely loses all interest in whatever you're doing and joins in the chanting. The other keeps his eyes locked on you. If you want to go anywhere, please be my guest.
Well, if I'm gonna go anywhere, can I get some fresh air?
There's plenty of fresh air here.
It's a bit stuffy, come on, all these blokes. It's a bit sweaty, it's a bit smelly, and everyone stinks of alcohol. I could really do with a breather.
Oh, I'm sure we'll come to that in time, won't we? Sit down, have a drink, enjoy yourself.
Okay. In which case, I might sort of schlep towards the bar, heading towards Jules, as if I'm about to sort of ask her to get me a drink or something. And yeah, hopefully he might lose interest while I'm doing that. Two women chatting together, it's not going to be that interesting for him.
You slide away and start making your way over to Jules, and you hear him just kind of give a low whistle to someone in the near vicinity. You don't know what happens as you turn your back to them. Jules.
Where is the back door to this pub? Is it behind the bar?
It's behind the bar, through the kitchen, to the rear, leads into a small storeroom, and then out back. There is also another one just on the far side of the fireplace that leads just straight out back.
Okay. I'll wait for Okay, I'll wait for. I don't know. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. No.
You're in the hot seat now, son.
When you come over here, okay, I'll try and chat to you as much as I can. Okay. Hey there, hun. What's going on? I don't know these guys. Do you know them?
I don't know these guys. No, the guy came over. He wanted to play dice, and then our friend Alister said that he had a relic, and to show him the relic. And then from that, there was this fight, and I'm not entirely sure.
Do you want to get out of here?
Yes.
There is a door behind here. I will hopefully make a big enough distraction for you and maybe one other. If you're able to grab someone to come close, I can call for last calls, and people gotta get their drink in before they see the fight.
I like that idea. Yes.
Right.
Hey, we'll try that.
Right. Get someone quick, because it's 2 seconds at max, or shit's gonna break loose. I can tell.
So the one other, because Alistair's in the middle. Subil, I haven't even noticed yet. Jack, we know, has got out, so it's going to be somehow getting Eddie and the child to come on over. How close am I to them, roughly? Can I distract her with a wave, or would I actually have to go up to her and grab her?
To Edlynnne?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be able to grab her attention quite easily.
Okay.
I say that, you would normally be able to grab her attention quite easily, but her attention is somewhat tunnel visioned at the moment. Locked onto, as you can see her, you just follow her eye line to see between you and the door, one of the doors that have been pointed out to you. You can see one of the security detail kind of leaning over, playing with Sam.
Okay. Does the security guy know who I am? Does he know I'm with the group? Has he seen me?
You have no real way of knowing.
Damn it. I'm going on a bit of a limb here. But I'm gonna stagger over, pretending to be quite drunk, to the security. Okay.
Just as we still need to give Alister an action before we come back to your next lot of your next choices.
Yeah.
Alister, as the table is pulled away from you and you kind of make your way into the center of this ring that's just naturally forming around you, a prison of your own making.
Excellent. Where is the? So look with the geography of this. Where is the window? Is it a large window? Is it a small window, like to the front of the, like out into the courtyard? Is there a...
So there's a kind of middling-sized window about arm's length apart and height. Near to you, within near distance, off to your right. However, the crowd has kind of caused a small blockade between you and it.
And the reprobate in front of me is the
reprobate. Yeah,
because I forgot to say. What was his name?
Schmitz.
My brain was going Schmatz or Schatz, but I couldn't. I knew it was an S. Schmitz. Okay.
Van Schmitz.
Schmitz. Yeah, he sounds like a lovely fella. So what I'd like to do is basically maneuver until he's got his back to the window, and then try and rugby tackle him through the window.
Okay.
Because then we're outside, right?
Yeah. Wonderful. Can I get you, in that case, to do a reason fighting check, please? Opposed by him.
Reason fighting. Ooh. Yes, you can definitely get me to do that. That's 3 successes. Ooh.
Well done.
And a Cthulhu symbol. I'm happy.
God damn.
You beat him by 1. Generate a momentum, please.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yo, we got all the momentum today.
Yay!
Got a big mo.
It's the only
You
time we're
start
ever
kind
going to
of
get momentum.
Sidling off to the left, causing him to just naturally move in the opposite direction as you start circling one another. He just kind of reaches up and just wipes your blood from his forehead and just flicks it down onto the floor as you start moving. Is about what you were hoping for?
One small change, and then I'm just going to Run straight at him.
Absolutely fine. For this, it's going to be opposed brawn athletics as you just charge into him.
Cool.
You only need to beat him, and you'll put him through the window.
You can take some momentum.
I was going to say, I'll take one momentum if that's all right.
All right, one momentum. That's more than doable.
How much momentum have we got?
We will have 4 after this one is spent.
Okay.
We have 5. Well, we have 4 currently.
Say brawn athletics, Ben.
Brawn athletics.
Brawn athletics. Okay, 10. So that is 1 success.
You're beaten by 2.
Oh, God. Such a good plan.
You charge forward, ducking down low and wrapping your arms around his waist as you try to push forward. You just ran into him, and it's like running into a brick wall. As your momentum just dies with your movement, you slam into him, and you just feel for a moment as he just reaches down under you, wraps his arms around your chest, and raises you up.
Okay.
Oh, he a big boy.
Immediately causing you to have to kind of let go for fear of having your arms bend back in the wrong direction. As he just kind of lifts and drops.
Did he just tombstone me?
He just tombstoned you.
As in,
I mean, props to him, I guess.
Yeah, well, he's got flair.
He does.
He's
that
got
is
style.
That's a well-established character feature. Flair.
You take 3 points of stress as your head impacts into the wooden floor, immediately causing you to slide out from under it as he just kind of lands on the floor himself and starts to pick himself back up, smiling and laughing as he again just stands and raises his arms to the crowd that roar in joy as you kind of collapse into a pile and start trying to pick yourself up, stepping away from him. Dice would have been easier.
Getting up, I'm going to then spit out a tooth and go, but a lot less fun. And
You're
square
not
up to him
wrong.
again.
He says as he walks up, and for his action, as you go to stand, attempts to just kick you in the face.
Okay.
Agility fighting, please, sir.
1.
It's a double crit.
So,
And thus we just saw the first player death.
I was going to say, like, having said, and I've said this to Ben already, having said, like, I want to be in this as long as Alister's in this, but after that I might have to step out. I may only be in 1 session of this entire game. Like, I don't want to leave you there, but character-wise, I might only be in 1 session. Ben, how much stress have you just done to me?
Let's find out, shall we? It's fine. It's only 4.
How much you want?
Well, I'm hale and hearty. I don't know what the problem is. I've got 1 stress left before I'm dead. It's great. It's no problem.
Stressful situation, some would say.
It's fine. All good. It's
You
no
reel
problem.
back as Schmitz's Schmitz's boot just collides with the base of your jaw and sends your head twisting in place,
Wow. Yeah.
causing you to just roll and slide away from him across the floor.
Yeah.
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 Once again, a roar of approval raises from some of the crowd, and you can hear kind of a little bit more muffled, kind of a few shocked voices, even disapproval coming out, as the man clearly moves from barroom brawl to intent to maim or kill.
Yeah. What's everyone else
Then
doing?
we'll come back to the rest of the party, as Alister just kind of starts to very shakily raise himself up and get his footing again. The fact I haven't named this guy Bonesaw makes me very sad.
Got the Undertaker?
3 minutes of playtime.
I wouldn't mind, but I'm not Spider-Man. I'm not up on the thing. I'm in with Bonesaw being ready and just like dying. Amazing.
Okay.
In whatever order you guys want.
Can I just ask? Sorry, Jake.
No, go ahead. I'm just mulling.
I was
going to
ask if the rest of the security detail have been distracted by this at all.
Oh, God, yes.
Yep, so they're all very
I think
distracted.
that's the least I can say.
Okay, right. In which case, I'm going to rush over to Edlynnne, and I'm just going to quickly whisper in Wishin in her ear the plan that Jules and I have come up with, get her to scoop up the child and hurry around, and then just like signal to Jules just to ring that bell as we head out the back door.
I will do that. I'll go, bring! Ha, stop! How dare you, in the pub? Well, why don't you have a drink while you watch? Well, come on, it's last calls, come on! And I'll try and get everyone to come and get a beer while they watch.
Nothing from yourself, Cecily. It's an easy thing. You don't need to worry about any dice for this. Jules, can I ask you to make a will persuasion check? We're going to give you a free d20 on this as you're making such a racket and the crowd is kind of being brought into the momentum of it at this point, watching this poor man being slapped around the middle of the bar.
Okay, can I also use another momentum to get...
Of course you can.
Cool. So how many dice is that?
So that'd be 4 in total.
4 dice. Cool.
Sorry, was that how much momentum was that spent?
1 momentum.
Okie dokie. 3.
Okay.
And you're looking for a total of, I'm going to say 3.
Charm and, not charm,
Guard
persuasion
is more
and...
than applicable here.
Yeah. Persuasion and what was the other one?
Will, please.
Persuasion and will. Okay, that's 3 passes. That's what we needed. I'm happy with that.
Perfect. You give out your calls and immediately you kind of watch people turning their eyes from the fight over to you, and kind of attention is drawn between both. You watch as about half the crowd just breaks away and, still looking over their shoulder so they don't miss anything, rushes over to the bar, even as you see Stefan on the other side of it, having already emptied all of the bottles off in case anything got worse. Kind of very hurriedly trying to take orders and yelling at his son to start getting everything ready. Giving a lovely kind of smoke screen of people covering the bar, making movements so much easier as you watch the thugs and security groups start kind of breaking away and getting pulled away from one another.
Yeah, so I guess that's all I can do.
Mm-hmm. Cecily, obviously you whisper your comment to Edlynnne.
Right, I'm making notes. There we go.
Friend.
No criteria.
Just like, Eddie, quickly, while everyone's distracted, while Juice has made this distraction for us, grab Sam, let's go, let's get out of here. There are 2 back exits, let's leave. Get in the carriage, get Jago, we'll find Subil, we'll go.
Kind of just take that on, and then confirming that the guy that's with Sam, is he distracted, or is he just still with Sam?
The guy sat with Sam is still paying attention to him, you, and you see him kind of, his eyes flitting from you into the fight, trying to almost kind of lock eyes for a moment with Schmitz. Sorry.
I kind of just, without even breaking eye contact with the guy, just whisper back to Cecily going, if I keep this guy distracted, you try to grab Sam, and then I'll run out as best I can. But
Okay.
unless this guy is gone, we can't get Sam.
Okay, that's cool. I am more than happy to grab small boy and run and let Eddie deal with any stabbing that might occur afterwards.
From Sam.
Yeah, potentially.
Sam now has a knife and just constantly
Is that
stabbing the
enough
guy.
of you?
We'll come to that next then. So that moves us with Jack, Subil, and Alister in any order you would like.
Okay.
You first. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna do something. I'm going to do something stupid.
It's working for me.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna just Sybil's next to me. Just go. Get Sam out of here. And I am going to run at well, I don't know his name, but Schmitz.
Schmitz.
At,
Yeah.
at full and try and repeat tackle him through the window. I would like to spend a void and a momentum to make one of them a crit. If he's still in line with the window, obviously.
He won't be in line with the window just because of where you are, because you're kind of still next to the door. You'd essentially be having to do this.
Okay.
Is he in line with the fire?
That was my next question. That was my next question.
Yes. There is unfortunately a child between him and the fire, however.
Oh yeah, remember Sam?
never, the wall will do, or a table that can hurt. Maybe we can break his spine and he'll need a chiropractor forever. I don't know.
While my companion is mulling over different ways of attacking this random person who's talking to Sam, I'll just look over to him and say, why don't you just talk to him?
I'm asking you to go get Sam. I'm going to help our new friend.
We're going for that guy.
Yeah.
Why are you attacking? Never mind. I'll get Sam. Let it go. I'll leave him to it. Just go. Can't even.
Question.
Okay.
If the guy's in line with fire, guy number 2 who is watching Sam is sat next to the fire. Couldn't we attempt to rugby tackle Schmitz into the guy who's watching Sam?
And then push Sam out
and
the way
then
as
grab
we're doing it.
Sam and run.
You could certainly try.
I would like
that
to
plan.
try that.
That's a good plan.
This could go awfully.
Brilliantly.
It could go so bad.
Brilliantly.
It could go it's so bad. Like,
Okay.
1,000 different ways.
So I'm spending a void point to make one of those dice a crit.
Yep.
I am then spending a momentum to gain an additional dice, so I'm rolling 2 on top of that. And that would be brawn fighting, but fight makes right, so athletics.
Yep.
So 13.
Just to let you know before you say anything, you will need to beat him and still have 2 momentum left to push him that far, okay?
There is 2 momentum in the pool.
That dice not only missed the table, but went under it. How many successes did you get, Jago?
Well, 4.
That'll do it. Generate 2 momentum, please.
Yeah, okay.
So we're back up.
Yeah.
So we're
Blindsided. Schmitz, from his position, just kind of continues to step back, putting a little bit of a gap between himself and Alister, wiping his boot off as you start to kind of pick yourself up, shakily, kind of shake yourself down. He smiles at you, cracks his knuckles, and as he does, the crowd bursts apart, and you watch as Jack hurtles through them into him, grabs him around the chair by the back, and just keeps charging forwards.
Can I just pick him up and drop him on his friend?
Roaring with every passing step, Jack pushes through the crowd, past Edlynnne and Cecily, and towards both Sam and the other man, who kind of looks up, shocked, eyes wide, goes to scramble up as Jack just slams Schmitz into him, causing both of them to collapse into the ground and away. Can I ask you to roll some damage dice for me, Jago?
You can indeed.
Edlynnne, now's your time. Double kill it.
Yeah. What's your
Run him through.
What's your brawn modifier, my friend?
My brawn modifier is 10.
Cool. So it'll be 3 dice.
Okay.
We'll say 4. We'll say 5 for the improvised weapon that is Schmitz.
Yeah. Oh boy. So 4, 6, 5. Not why did I go backwards? 7. 7.
Wonderful. You slam the 2 into one another, causing them to collapse into a pile, shocking Sam, who is sat directly next to it, who just kind of sprawls backwards with a shocked look on their face. you watch as Switch's body pushes the first man down, cracking his head against the wood of the floor. You just watch his the light in his eye immediately vanish as he passes out from the impact. Schmidt himself rolls over, smacks into the wall on the far end, and spitting and cursing as he just very shakily tries to move, his back pressed up against the wall. You watch his head just crack against it as well. Leans forward. By the fucking martyr! Starts trying to just pin his foot down and pick himself back up. You just kind of stand back, shaking yourself clean.
So, just like a sack of flour.
That was impressive.
Back on the farm.
While this is happening, I think I'll probably assume what Jack had told me, and I'll jump over to, or I'll swiftly glide over to Sam, who I imagine is a bit confused.
Slide past, moving behind Jack over to Sam, who is just looking around, somewhat shocked, and you just kind of lean down.
I think I'll go down to this level. I'll get down to one knee, and I'll kind of, because I assume I've got some sort of cover. Well, I'll say to Sam, Sam. Sort of gesturing to the child, sort of in a sort of playful way. Let's go,
Sam just looks at you, looks at the now sprawled brute next to them, and just nods. Alister.
Alister isn't here anymore. Alister hurts too much.
There is no Alister.
What? So, clambering from sprawled upwards. There's a true believer, and then just sort of shudder towards the door, trying to make my way outside as fast as humanly brokenly possible. We'll call that a draw.
It's a tag team match. He should have got his partner in.
This is it. And it's Jack coming in with a metal chair.
You just kind of stumble away, muttering to yourself as you go. And as you reach the door, go to step out for it, you just feel a hand on your shoulder.
Oh no.
Just let him be. Let him be. Let him die.
Let the poor man.
Go on, tell me who it is, because they're going to get shanked.
Just another one of the group that was with him, a very slim man with dark hair, kind of already wearing a single eye patch, and you can see a scar just running down it. He opens his mouth to say, I don't think so, my friend. You've got your hand on your knife.
Well, one way or the other, I'm getting out of here, and I'm just going to pull it out and stab it straight into his chest if at all possible.
He didn't see this coming. Seeing a man literally on what he perceived to be his last legs, the last things he expects is to be stabbed. Please, difficulty 1, agility fighting. Will immediately apply piercing to the attack.
Agility fighting. That's 1 success. Yes.
Absolutely fine. Roll your damage.
What's my damage going to be on this? So I've got agility is 10, and my fighting is 2.
What's the damage on the knife? Should be the question, really.
Knife. Where is the knife? I've got it. I thought I had it somewhere. I've got a knife. It's not on the thing, but I do have one. I've got pickaxe, but I've also got a knife. Yeah, I mean, my pickaxe is still in the corner. I feel I'm going to lose that after this, but I'm fine with that.
So the knife would normally be base damage of 2 dice. What's your brawn?
My brawn is a grand total of 8.
2 dice. You'll have piercing 2 on this due to the surprise and the knife itself having piercing. So every effect you roll is 2 points off his armor.
Okay. Would you believe one Cthulhu image, and that's it?
One effect it is.
I'm
Your
so
knife
sorry.
rips through his armor, slides just across his chest, and you can feel it kind of leaving a large gash, but not actually pushing in past the ribs.
Excellent. Good. Solid.
You deal him a point of damage. And he just kind of...
Mark.
Yeah, exactly. He flings you off of him just for a moment, trying to put some distance between you and him. You kind of hit the wall. Don't take any damage from it, obviously. You just hit the wall, pull your knife free, and he just stands there. He reaches down for a cudgel on his belt.
Bring it. Bring it.
I
What you
offer 2 momentum to keep the initiative, and somebody can assist. I don't know.
There's nobody near me.
There's 2 momentum there. We can work with this. We can work with this, right?
Sadly, you've run out of actions.
No.
That was all of you.
Edlynnne hasn't done something
No,
right.
I have.
Fuck,
I
no,
have.
It's a new, no, I'm
Did.
fuck. This is really awkward.
It will come to them.
We can't have someone die on the first session.
Bring it.
They're not going to shoot him.
It's all good.
I'm
Bring
going
it.
to whack him.
Schmitz
Yeah, they'll
picks it-
just.
on the far end of the bar, Schmitz picks himself up. Literally just stamming to his feet, reaching into just one of the small pouches on his side, and pulling out a set of brass knuckles, just sliding them over his fingers as he locks eyes with Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Cheap move.
fun. I wish he knew. I wish he knew.
Sliding them in place, he just steps forward, fists raised, and goes for the haymaker. Can I get an opposed fighting check, please, Jago?
No. Well, that would be 1 success and a complication.
Oh.
Okay.
Why could nothing ever just go right and then just sort of dip off into normality? It goes bang, bang.
We're not allowed nice things.
No.
We're really not.
As he swings, you move to put your hands up to block, and his fist just moves that instant faster than you anticipated. It goes over your arm, catches you in the side of the face, and you feel your cheekbone just crack under the weight of the hit. Take 6 stress.
Thankfully,
Which is
I'm
also
a
an
tanky.
injury.
Yeah, that's
What's your armor?
my armor is. Well, because no bonuses, 2.
It's only 4 then. That's safe.
Okay.
Injury.
That is. I am more than I can ask. Oh, that's
You do
good.
still feel your cheek kind of crack, the skin and flesh split as blood just pops out. You reel to one side. As you turn, you see another of his group stepping from behind, from the crowd, grabbing you by the hem of your jacket, pulling you back. Can you give me a contested agility question? Brawn athletics, as he looks to just wrap his arms around you and put you into a hold for your complication.
Momentum. That face suggests momentum. Fuck, I'm sweating momentum. Three, 4 successes. Get fucked.
Excited wave.
4 successes.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'd like to know you only beat him by 1.
get fucked.
Wow.
You shake him off just as he tries to grab you, managing to keep your distance between the two. Schmitz looks to the other, gives him a nod, who just immediately shouts. Puts his arms to his mouth and shouts out, "Grab them!"
I mean, I could stop that with momentum, but that would leave us with nothing, because I'd have to change a truth. Is anybody opposed to that?
I was going to say, can't we use the momentum of people yapping and yarring over the fights going on, and the fact that no one can hear him yell?
Well,
That could be a good truth.
A suggestion that I pose to the table is that Smith is still too stunned to get out the words properly.
Too stunned to speak.
I mean, I'm just going to. I mean, either way, I'm just going to stab him.
His mate can't understand what he's saying.
Ollie's got this for good.
So he's
One
stunned.
track might have stabbed.
Yeah?
I got a one-track mind, which is grab Sam and run.
That is the plan. Get the fuck out.
I got a one-track mind, but it's sort of ending in sand and banks and stop signs, and it doesn't seem to...
It's dead end.
It's going a bit too fast for your liking there.
What do we think? Is that we okay with that? To spend momentum so he doesn't get the order out to his mates?
How much momentum have we got?
We've only got the 2, so that would lead us with nothing. That's why I'm offering an alternative if somebody else has a plan.
I say we do it. Either way, like I said, I'm stabbing people,
Sure.
so I don't really care, but I say do it.
What has momentum ever done for us? It's fine.
Exactly. Apart from, help me pile drive somebody.
Well,
Yeah, but only the ones, though.
It's only the ones. Okay, yeah, I will spend the 2 momentum to say that, I forgot his name again. Schmidt, that was it, is too stunned to get out the words. So he doesn't give the order.
Absolutely fine. He said you see him kind of go to make the call, and as he does, you immediately kind of push yourself forwards, and he just doesn't have the energy in him to try and do both. He's just going to focus fully on you.
Nice.
I'm going to take the next one in a second, if that's okay. After you've done your thing.
On the other side of the room, Alister's new friend goes to swing, drawing the cudgel from his belt and just swinging down towards him. Can I get an agility fighting check from you, please?
You got this, man.
You can do it.
Oh,
We should have kept the momentum for this.
I think, if anything, this stream so far I have shown, I don't got this. I do not got this. Sorry.
No, but
That's all right.
This time you got this.
Would you say agility fighting? No?
Agility fighting.
Agility fighting.
I feel it in my bones that this is the one.
Your
Wrong.
your bones might need checking, dude.
Well, that's awkward.
I got a 17 and an 18.
Oh god.
No.
My rolling has actually been pretty good so far, except when it counted. So I don't know what's going on with the blower. I can't do anything about that.
Oh.
Go on, Ben. What you
bring
got?
your blade up to try and defend yourself. He swings down, cudgel ready. At the last moment, you duck, swinging under the cudgel as it cracks into the wall behind you.
Win.
He fucked it up, didn't he?
You duck under him, just put a little bit of a distance between you and him. He twists in place, goes to kind of follow after you. Just with natural movement, you get as much distance as you can, sprinting away from him into the crowd and past the window you'd earlier tried to throw Schmidt through.
Nice.
He gives chase.
Oh shit.
Steps behind you, and as you pass that window, you just feel this sudden kind of chill burst out and run past you. You glance behind you just for a second to try and get an idea of where the man is, and you watch just for an instant as the whole crowd seems to bleed away for a second. You can just see him. Steps behind you with something reaching through the window. This large, mottled grey hand having wrapped around his face. In an instant, the hand twitches, snaps, and drags, pulling the figure bodily through the window. You hear it shatter, you feel that chill once again just burst out into the room, and nothing else. You blink, and the room is back to normal. The crowds of people are still there, shouting, screaming. Some are still kind of raising drinks into the air, and you just look back to where that man was, and there is nothing. The window stands still plain, still in place. Your dagger is still drawn, and you have distance between where you were and where you are.
Okay.
And you just kind of blink, glance around, and you can still see everyone else, your newer friends, kind of around the room.
Yeah.
For the note, he rolled double complications.
My bones! My bones don't need checking!
Can see anything about this.
What?
No, my camera is decided to blow the hell out of me, so I don't know what's going on there. But thank absolute fuck for that.
Yep.
Take back what you said about my bones.
Salt the man's
I think it was
bones.
Ben's bones that were having fun.
My
there, to be
bones
honest.
are on point.
Well, with my action, I'm gonna. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Where is? See, I was going to go straight out the door, but I've just seen that, so I don't think I want to go out the front door. I wanna just look.
Yeah,
I
many
can hear
options
now.
here, Alister.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you guys are all sort of heading towards. But well, no, I'm going to go out. I'm going to try and hobble out of the front door and get away at this point. It's because
It's fine. You kind of double back past where you've got just past, literally having to walk back past the window to get to the front door.
so the windows.
You need to go past the window to get to the front door, or the back door is just off to your side.
Oh, back door then. Yeah. If there's an
Yep.
exit, I'm heading to an exit, wherever the exit is. Yeah.
Absolutely fine. You
Just
kind
off
of hobble away, making your way towards that window, towards that door. As you do, just off onto your right, you can see Jack embroiled in a fight with Schmidt and another of the thugs. The crowd's still around, kind of having now formed a secondary circle around them instead. You can also see Edlynnne, Cecily, and even Subil kind of making their way just around the back of that fight, grabbing up Sam and heading to that door. It's almost simultaneous as all four of you kind of reach it. The crowd's still roaring around. You glance back, and of course, for the four of you, you can still see Jack stood in the middle of that fight. Jules on the other side stood on top of the bar at this point, encouraging more and more people up and drawing more and more from the fight over to the drinks. As you watch Stefan just kind of hurriedly slamming mug after mug out onto the bar itself. What are your actions?
I mean, I was gonna use my guardian thing to kind of just help Jack with the fight, really. So I kind of like once I know that Sam is safe and exit, I'm just gonna like just throw off my coat, go to the fight, and be like, honestly, are you guys just losing at this point? Like talking like to the other two, and just be like, yeah, we don't have time for this, and just like the guy that's holding Jack, I would just want to like. Not even use my fist. I'm literally just gonna like use one of my knives and just go to stab him because at this point I can't be bothered.
Absolutely fair. You go from fist fight to stabbing a dude in the face. Can I get an agility fighting check from you there, Holly? As Edlynnne just draws a blade, closes in to one of them, and goes in swinging.
And because I've got melee weapons, but that can help with this as well as my focus.
Yep.
What's that? Bad roll. Does that pass? Yeah, no, that's a 1. That's a 1 pass.
You beat his 0. Roll your damage.
Turns out I'm now rolling good, and that's 40. Hold on. That's what.
Ben, how many guards are there?
In total, you noted 8, including Smith himself.
And how many
that's-
have we?
Oh, sorry. Continue.
One
No, you go,
unconscious
you
and
go.
one that's been dragged through a window.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that's a. I forget what they mean, but it's 1 bang, and then the rest are like 2 of the bang things. I forget what they mean. So I'm just gonna damage it.
Five damage.
Bangos.
Bang you can.
As one just kind of steps back, having been thrown off of Jack, you step forward, blade ready, swing down, and just carve him a quick Jersey smile across his face, splitting the cheeks as the blade just rips between his teeth. He shouts out as blood just gushes off to one side, grabbing his hands up around his mouth. You just watch again as blood just pumps readily through his fingers. He looks over at you, a shocked expression, and just taking the kind of blunt of the blade, smack him in the face and send him sprawling to his back.
Yep, sounds about right. I just look at Jack and I'm like, come on. We
Let's
really
get the
need to
fuck
go.
out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Sybil, Cecily, Jules.
I have seen Eddie. I'm just going to let her go and do her thing. So I just try and usher Sam and try and help Alister hobble out of the door and round to the carriage.
Seeming as I'm also heading towards Sam, I assume I see Cecily.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of give the look of kind of...
This shit again.
And then... Yeah.
Can't be trusted.
None of you can be trusted. Let's go. And I'll sort of usher Sam as well, heading towards, sort of under my breath as we go out, assumably back into the rain. Sort of. Oh my god! It's been 30 minutes. I'll keep looking down at Sam, knowing that he's not going to reply. Just going. It's been 30 minutes. Can you believe them? I mean, a bar, and they start a bar fight. How cliche is that? I mean, come on.
I think we've set a new record.
Seconds. Come on, Sam, let's go.
We didn't start a bar fight.
They started the bar fight.
They started the bar fight.
We just finished it.
Eddie's just finishing
I walked
it.
in on you
Yeah.
fighting.
I have a lot of pent-up rage, okay? I'm just finishing it the best way I know how.
I'm a rageful person. I can get away with it. That's not how it works, okay?
I really hope Jules is just shouting that as I'm just like doing that to the guy.
That's not how it works, hon. Fuck. I don't know what. I have literally no idea what's. Do you think I'd be fired after this?
What do you think?
I think no, because one, money has been brought to the pub. Oh, actually, no, things have been destroyed. Yeah, no, I'm being fired. I'm going to nick the keys and lock the door as I leave so people can't get out. The front door.
Do you want to rob the till as well so we have some...
Why the hell not?
Because... No.
Please?
Why would no?
You're in this deep.
Please?
No.
We need money.
That's
Draw
no.
the line after you've crossed
They
the
need
line.
the money.
So do we!
It's hard working a pub, okay?
They've got a business.
As
They
a
can
working
keep
class
getting
woman,
Stealing money from a bank, from a vault. And saying,
I do what I have to, okay, and I
It's not
give
moral.
to what that needs, okay? Thank you.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm nicking the keys and locking the door as I leave. I'm gone. I'm like out of here.
You sprint through the crowd, just navigating it as best you can, swinging the door open and sliding out as Stefan is busy with the various patrons. The security group have been thrown into complete disarray, with the bar more busy than it ever was somehow. The bloodlust and the drinking and the music having built it to a fever pitch at this point. You just dart out the front door, slam it behind you, lock it, and just leave the keys in the door.
Yeah. I'm also going to follow these guys because they seem like they know what they're doing. Hopefully. But better than I do.
You start you start kind of looping around the building to double back to where you know they'll be coming out of the back door. As you do that, Alister, Sybil, and Cecily, you all kind of break out of the back door, moving around the corner, trying to trail over to where you to the stables. As you do, I'm going to spend 3 chaos.
No.
Stop it.
Just before you do that,
Stop
it.
just before you do that, as we come out of the door, as I see Jules waiting, can I sort of? I'll be talking to Sam as before. Just, can you believe? I can't believe, and I'll just sort of look up and go, oh, hello.
Eyes up here. Fucking pervert. Every
And then
time.
go.
Every time.
Oh.
Pretty lady, pretty.
As you catch each other's eyes for a moment, you just kind of take your attention from Sam for a second, and against the sound of the bar, you don't hear the horse approaching. And it's only a moment or two later, as he rides past, you see Horst riding on the back of a charger, uniform sodden and wet, as he's got this large this large overcoat keeping the worst fit off. See him burst around the corner on horseback, riding past, swings his hand down at the last moment and grabs Sam by the back of the collar. Sybil's attention diverted just for a second as he comes around. Sam is just ripped from the ground and thrown up onto the horse.
I would like to whip out my pistol and fire and say, fuck this, woman's gotta do everything, and fire. I'm also going to use a void point, so one of them is already 2 successes.
Go for it.
Do we have any momentum?
Oh.
Okay. That makes it 3 successes.
Hey!
Your shot fires cleanly. Can you roll damage, please?
Damage 5 stress. What is that? Yeah.
That's 5 dice.
5 dice, and that is 5d6.
Sybil's awestruck by this, by the way. He's like,
She's so pretty.
Sybil, you might
And
be
she's
Edlynn's
gonna
next
go.
victim.
All I could think was, were you listening to me, Sybil, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? Is this
So that is 2, 3, 3, 5, 6.
You fire the shot and you see it whip through the night, and a small burst of blood emanates out from Horst's shoulder as it kind of turns the corner, trying to just loop around. You watch as he stumbles and falls from the horse, collapsing to the ground in the mud and rolling just onto the other side around the corner of the building, gripping the child as he goes. Him and Sam roll just out of sight. On the inside of the bar, Jack and Edlynnne, can I get you to both roll an agility fighting check as you try to quickly put down Schmidt?
2 successes?
1 success again.
Fail and a complication. Can you both roll damage, please?
3 dice, right? Because I'm not. Because I
Correct.
don't have all the bullshittery with me. It's only
I have
2 points of damage.
Cthulhu face and 3 points of damage.
Okay. Between the two of you, Schmidt moves his way up, fist still raised, trying and just get a few good swings in. As he kind of charges forward, Jack, you move up, lock one of his arms in place as the blow swings for your gut. You push him just out of the way long enough to deliver your own slap to the side of his face. As
Right
he
in the throat.
rolls aside from it, Edlynnne just jumps in behind, takes the blade and slams it onto his back, sliding down the edge of his spine, running past the shoulder blade and just nicking into the back of the ribs.
Man is going to need a chiropractor.
Honestly, we make a good team. We should do this more often.
Should do.
Yeah, we should do this more often.
I want to fucking
Shouts out in pain as red just blossoms out from the injury, coating the armor as he just kind of drops to one knee, screaming in pain to the floor, giving you both an perfect opportunity as you see the rest of the group disappear out the back door, and more worryingly, hear a gunshot echo from nearby. You can either stay and finish him off or head out the door.
Instincts kicking. I am literally just grabbing the coat I've dropped, giving Jack a quick look, going, "You can finish him if you want," and then running out that door.
I want those knuckle dusters so bad. So bad. Would it be an opposed grapple check to get them?
Yes.
You keep them for today. And I will follow.
Leaving the chaos of the bar behind, you disappear out the door, both you and Edlynnne, breaking out into the night. As you can see, stood just in the front of the group that's sailed outside, Jules, pistol laid out, kind of raised into the night, still smoking from the end. Subil staring on in awe nearby. Both Cecily and the sadly beaten and bruised Alister kind of just leaning against the wall for support, watching on. You follow the line of the shot, and you can just see a horse breaking off to the left and disappearing just off into the kind of off north, and rolling just behind onto the other side of the stables, the shape of a man, and gripped in his embrace. You see the Sam disappearing with him. Assuming each of you are just going to kind of give chase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's my boy.
He's our child. We need to get him back.
That's my baby
We're all
boy.
going.
But does someone want to get the carriage?
Sybil,
Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, you get the carriage. We'll get
That's
Sam.
going to be my next thing.
You'll need to go past them to get to the carriage anyway.
Oh, there you go.
So it's not all that far. They
Do you
didn't
want
make
to go
it
get the
very
horse
far.
then?
No.
Sybil, do you want to go get the horse? Well, we look after the kid. Just not dead. You're muted.
You got no mic.
As you turn and all run, heading around, just following the child, you hear, against the rain and against this lightning, Horst's raised voice. I'm here to help. I know they kidnapped you. I know I'm here to... As you break around the corner, there's a sudden chill that just runs across the area. A disappearance of the air as if it's sucked into a vacuum momentarily. And as you round this around the corner, watching the water and moisture in the air kind of crystallize to ice, drop down and impact into the floor, you see, leaning over the body of Horst, hands outstretched, gripping a slowly beating heart. The child just looking down with this horrified look on his face. And it looks back at you over the body and just puts his hand to his chest to signal, I'm sorry. And that is where we will end the session.
I was just going to send in my dog. That'd be less
No witnesses,
traumatic.
at least we got that sorted out.
I mean, at least I taught my boy well. Like, he can kill.
That's no!
I've done
That's
my
the
job.
wrong response!
It's the right response.
That's irresponsible parenting.
Oh my god.
I thought we established I was the
Word.
responsible parent.
And with that,
My days.
once again, I've been Ben.
Oh god.
You can find me anywhere on @TryAgainBen. These guys. Jago.
Hello.
where can I find
I'm nowhere. I'm not interesting.
you? Fair enough. Lynn.
Oh,
Lynn.
plug the
Where can we
stuff.
find you, Lynn?
Oh, plug the stuff. Yes, sorry. I'm just putting into chat now. I'm Lynn, but I'm also known as Pontoufles Art or as Pan. I've just put a little thank you to everyone in chat. So if you want to find me on Twitch, and from that link there on my Instagram, all the other social medias, all the contact stuff is through there.
Billy.
I currently have nothing really on the internet. I'm currently working on a sort of world building thing, so maybe one day, but currently. Just here, just here.
Fair enough. Holly?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Holly Ida Healey. I mostly post random things to do with D&D and a bit of music. So if that's interesting to you, then give it a listen. If not, suit yourself. I don't mind.
Max?
Nothing really. No kind of ads or anything.
And finally, James.
I'm glad I went last because mine is a hugely long spiel, which will make everyone fall asleep. I'm Guildenstern on the internet, pretty much everywhere you could probably want to find me. If you don't want to find me, but you do want to find really interesting stuff, I am part of Follow Black Cats. This is Black Cats Gaming. Follow Black Cats on here. We've got a show tomorrow, which is of the... It's not a spy game tomorrow, it's a spy game today. It is After the Fire game, which is super tense and super dramatic, and everybody wants to kill everyone. It's in season 6 now. It's an amazing watch. If you want to catch up on it, you can do so on YouTube via the Black Cats Gaming YouTube channel. We make lots of stuff. We made the spy game, which is a TTRPG in the... I have to say this correctly so we don't get sued, using the most popular role-playing game system, OGL. We've just finished doing a Kickstarter for Curse Captains of Cthulhu, so if you like Cthulhu, but you want your Cthulhu a little bit more piratey, we've done a Kickstarter for that. You can get all the details on Black Cats Gaming and or Follow Black Cats. Go and check stuff out. It's amazing. And we have a lot of fun. I will be more polished with this next week, if I'm still alive.
Thank you for that, James. And again, thank you very much to our amazing sponsors. Please go and check them out. All the information can be found via the initiative order. And as always, or for the first time, see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.